1, 2, 1, 2. T-O-M. Teachers of Maat. Who am I today? The scribe, been forever, but the name changes with the times. I come from a place where space is home. I go into realms where your face is gone. A change gon' come. As a teen, hypnotized deep in a sleep, party and slumber. 11 life path number, a life of death that's rebirth. Recall realities to reemerge. Soul purge, I'll lend you frequency like loan words. Before I teach, I'll spit a poem first. Step on stage, set the stage, car walking, set ablaze, divine fire. The body is divine attire, sewn from words. Sound frequency, awakening dreams. Don't pinch me every day I wake up, it's a home birth. Start from zero to become the heroes. Cycles of time causes expansion of mind. Potential is exponential. Gain XP, what your power made of. I've had to face self, face to fate, a double fate. What will I make of the present? I'm just trying to pet heaven. Twice great, 2 arms up is none to wave. It's nothing to wave. God separate the waters from the waters. Genesis 1 and 6. See, that source is thousands of years prior to a Bible even existing. It's called the Pet, word for heaven. Watchers of noon, primordial, pre-ordered, bringing order in order. Its law the scales will represent. A double gift, re-present, Ray is present. Ra, amen to the God inside. The crown will glow as consciousness grows. So what assignment are you on? Doubles. Bodies from walking. I do my best to do my best. Lead with the left, heart out my chest. By a step out of the flesh. On my crown is the Nemez, Corona shining. I do my best to do my best. Lead with the left, heart out my chest. By a step out of the flesh. On my crown is the Nemez, Corona shining. Serpent mind winding in alignment. Straight from Orion, the origins. Dig into the root, Kim originals. The oracle speaking. Your aura is gleaming. The sons of God, Amen Ra. Who can't afford a reason to fall below your own means, meaning reaching beyond the firmament ceiling. I see linguistics tricking us deep into sleeping. The way we live inception, I must be dreaming. Doubles, double L, square root, mirrors, reverse the image. My grip is slipping. Almost forgot the point of the mission. Statements point out all the contradictions. Blatant truth lives where my eye is foundation. Yeah. Co-founded a nation. Dictionary study spells can be scary. Etymology, this here is completion. Cycle circles, dualism, wisdom. I peddle flowers. 2 eyes are watching to see through the double realm I'm healing. Never out of what's within him. Infinite reasons, just like my brother Arcad. Always remain calm against demons. Death culture, to be alive here, it's a lie here. They crossed us into thinking that death isn't living. The lies are falling through my palms, arm wide, holes in my hand. The Pope's in command, I demand the throne back. Ancient teachings, I'm a throwback. Picture that, see this moment here is Kodak. So black, I see through lies. Why they hold that? Ocean motions, I'm flowing through noon in the boats of consciousness. My tongue is rolling, planting seeds, sowing. Neo speaking, untangled quantum DNA, spitting frequencies. I hear Christians scream hallelujah, and this ain't that the name of God is God. I must bring the order back, the scales are tipping. In the court of Allah, moonshine, Tehuti is Yah. This here is Ptah, bulldozing, the one chosen. Focus, when the light hits you, just open like lotus. Melt your mind when in mind time is frozen. Blow minds, my mind is golden. Coat me in gold, I've got a gold coat round me like I'm Tutankhamun. Like his when you spell my name, put 3 lines in. Scribe, presenting the law's findings. Who's he? I me, an echo of Tehuti. Yes, I do my best to do my best. Lead with the left, heart out my chest. By step out of the flesh. On my crown is the Nemez, Corona shining. We do our best to do our best. on moving. Keep. I had to relearn what a brother is. I had to relearn what a sister is. I had to relearn what a mother is. There is no other him. Watch your mouth, fix your lips. I am learning to compartmentalize what I find with my mentals. I could have been labeled mental voices in my head. If I speak to the wrong one, I'll be diagnosed schizophrenic. Creating pollution, you can't escape from where Captain Planet. Where's Captain Planet? And it's exactly how they planned it. It's insanity, stayed in a state of sanity. But I'm the scribe, keep a record on the record, I break records. This, that, medu, nature, echo, living, lively, times 3, trinity. We are not the same, not even simile. Plant the seed, a man receive excellence, adoration, testaments, evaluation, literally. The love is real, yet they be hating. Salutations, I wait to master patience. Acting lackadaisy on your facts, I'm backed by conscious beings. I am free, can't lock the wings in. The diction is firm, call me men. A man 3 in 1, erection, protection, firm. Spitting life into who I speak to like sperm. Creation is a who I earn. The right to fully see it through. The heart as I rise through. Manu, Akut, lost it when I had to find you. I'm through, times 2, dualism, we will align soon. As I meditate in my room, it becomes a space of pure truth aligned with my art. Verbiage is sound for more than the 2 eyes. I can see the veil underneath that other veil. Focus when I am locked in. I don't need a cell. Tell me you don't see the traps. Tower power over enemies, frozen over hell, reversing spells. Fell from the skies, the body is disguised. If you needed a sign, well this is it. I hope you read between the lines, left, right. After the first step, I write what's left in me. This is destiny, keep on moving, especially if you find blockage. No amount of pushback will stop this. This will get cats in stone, they cannot top this. Pyro, fire, Va is my attire. Inspire the ones chosen, the ones open, the ones spoken. From times when life was once spoken. Enchantments, Nesu, double tongue in motion. Give, receive, keep moving and move for keeps. Keep it real, keep the master key. I had to master me. Mirror glass shattered in my dreams. I didn't like the image till I realized I am the image of the image. I'm here for keeps, keep your distance. Social gimmicks, our stories told within the hieroglyphics. Mystics, just keep on living, we're gifted. Our stories told within the hieroglyphics. A language living, just keep on living. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep. I had to relearn what a brother is. I had to relearn what a sister is. I had to relearn what a mother is. There is no other him. Watch your mouth, fix your lips. Yep, motivate a nation. Stepping out the spaceship, causing a spaceship. Faced with, revealing the spells within this matrix. From the Masons, but I'm the architect. Best respect, I can architect. Rule your rulership, I hold the heck. Control my thoughts, still move when the game is paused. We speak heck up, this is the best of Medu Nature, bars like Wi-Fi, we're connected. Always on time, frequency and flow through frequency. I know the power I hold in my throat. Creation, destruction, with every single thing I've spoke. Enter, nectar, Kurt, show your worth. Heal from all the hurt, not a singer, best believe I hold a note. Read between the lines, you're not really lost in that. I hope you find exactly what you are looking for. This is more than words, taught myself to heal myself. I come from the dirt, no time for slacking or bad habits. Sad tactics of bringing mad tragic mental processes that lack passion. Spit fire, black dragon, school of hard knocks, send you backpacking. My eyes, when this appears, it's like magic. The fact is, when it's wartime, we go savage. Shield of armor 720, prevent backstabbing all the fiends of good-hearted beings. They don't suit the role, they lack the fashion. So just keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep. I had to relearn what a brother is. I had to relearn. HOTEP, peace and love, everyone. HOTEP Maat. Welcome to another House of Aten Study Sunday class. We have some wonderful readings that we're going to bring forth to you all. We're going to get into some Stele. We're going to go to 3 different ones. Let me give you the name of those real quick. They're going to be the BENTRESH Stele, the Poetical Stele of THUTMOSE III, and the NEFER HOTEP Stele. So we're in for another excellent show, educating ourselves about the literature of the ancient ones. Okay, so HOTEP, great brother Menkhu, peace and love. How you doing, great brother?
HOTEP, I'm doing well. Good to see you. Peace and love to the chat. Ready for another Sunday night study guide.
Excellent. And yes, the great brother ATEF Maat, he should be joining us a little bit later on in the class here. So we're going to go ahead and get started and let the great brother Menkhu introduce everyone and start with the affirmation, and then we'll get into this show. Peace.
Yes. Peace, HOTEP, everyone. On the count of 3, we will be starting with our beautiful affirmation. 1, 2, 3. Anki Maat, Un Ns, Nintet Aset Maat, Min Hepapet Maat, Her in Hukui, Her Ikut. I live for Maat. I exist within her. I do not speak in the place of Maat. Every day I advance towards Maat. My being is surrounded in darkness. I come forth as conscious light. Okay, we will start with the introductions. Ptah. Ptah Aten Tehuti is a representative of the Neturu. He has been searching for the source since a young man and has now found it with Maat, with the guidance of Saba Tehuti, who gave him his Ren to be a reflection of him as Aten Tehuti. As he continues to dig and implement his studies to create the highest quality of presentations with factual information to teach his people, he also creates sound vibrational tones to heal the soul and break the spells of negative hypnosis. He uses sound vibration and conscious thought to create the mindset of the Neturu. ATEF Kim Maat. He is the chairman of the organization House of Aten. He is also a student of the master teacher, Great Tehuti Abun Hotep Ra. He is the host of the weekly study group. He is a true-hearted follower of truth based on ancestral artifacts over religious opinions, and he loves his people unconditionally. He is dedicated to Kemet and loyal to Maat at all times. Ahati Maat was taught under the great Tehuti Amenhotep Ra. He has been a serious student and teacher of Kemet culture and history for several years. He has written multiple books, including a textbook called Journey of Your Soul series, essays, and articles. Furthermore, he hosts in-person and online classes, weekly podcasts, and periodically creates documentaries. He also has experience in public speaking and academic debating. He is responsible for the creation of the weekly study guide Sunday class for the House of Aten. Menkhu is a student of master teacher Saba Tehuti Amenhotep Ra and a follower of Maat. Menkhu is the Hib, the festivities organizer in the House of Aten, cultural enlightenment advisor and teacher, developer of the Pathways of Awakening, director and producer of documentaries, researcher of ancient civilizations, and researcher of the knowledge of spells. Welcome, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody is able to soak in the powerful teaching of our master teacher, Saba. Last night, extremely powerful. Man, yeah. Saba is something special. He is phenomenal, magnificent, powerful leader, such a great guider, such a holder of wisdom, knowledge, and the culture of Maat. He is superior. And so it's beautiful to be here and going through this transformation, this powerful light, sound, vibration. So we're happy to be here with you all as we continue on our journey and we learn and we grow. Ani Ptah, how you doing today?
I'm doing excellent. I've been hearing all type of firecracker pops all outside the house. It actually started last night during the pod class. I'm like, well, they're out celebrating what they don't know what they're celebrating, but they're celebrating something. So, but I am excellent. I am great. Looking forward to these readings. And as I gather together the support that we received prior to the class, I'm gonna go through that as well. I want to say Hotep and Henu to everyone who's here with us. Let's go through the NEFER Keperet. Peace and Hotep to this NEFER sister here who is such a powerful help to me and to the House of Aten, one of the great secretaries for the House of Aten. Shout out to NEFER Keperet for everything that she does. Nukpu, Ma'akaru, Amun Ray. Peace, good brother. I like how you added that to your name and your avatar there. There's a lot going on there. So Hotep to you and for updating that. Peace to you. We have the great moderator of the House of Aten, Primordial Thought 9, who says, Hotep Henu to the great Saba Tehuti, Amen Hotep Ra, and to the House of Aten. Yes, Hotep to this great brother who will be posting the links in the chat for you all to utilize. Wonderful moderator. So Henu to you, good brother. And then we have SFEHK, who is another member of the House of Aten, who says peace and love, family. And he has those nice images there to go alongside his name, because he is also a YouTube member. And everyone can do that by going right beside where the subscribe button is, and there's a button that says join. And by doing that, you help to support us, right? You help to support us. And if it's not there if you're on your phone, then you can go in the description box and there's a link that you can hit to join the YouTube channel here. And it's also another way to support us. So Hotep to this great brother for taking advantage of that, as well as NEFER Keperet and Minty Hotep. Give her peace and love too. I know she went on a museum trip today. I look forward to hearing about that and how that went. V.RI is in the building. He says, Hotep, peace to you, good brother. Glad that you are here. Ja Rashid, he says, Hotep to you, brothers. Thank you very much for sharing your wisdom and knowledge with us. Yes, Nini Uk, Tua for being here. And then we have Golden Eye in the building, Nefer Heru Noob. All right. So before we get started, just want to run through a couple of announcements. Rumble, we are streaming simultaneously on Rumble. Make sure you all are following us on Rumble, rumble.com/user/teachings of Maat. This is our backup channel. So make sure that you are there as well. In case anything happens to this YouTube, you still have access to the House of Aten. Meta Netter Mondays. Everyone should be a part of this class. We announce this every single week. Be sure that you are participating in the MetaNetter classes, getting the recordings by emailing the Great Saba Tehuti, mysticaltelevision@gmail.com. You know, this is everyone should be participating in this. It's the free will donation of at least $20 per class. So it's completely affordable for everyone. Everyone should have these. Join our Discord community. That link is also in the bio, and the great moderator will also be posting the link to the Discord as well. This is where you can get all information in real time as we post it. And we host community meetings, family gatherings every single month here at the Discord. And I also host a class called Maat Wisdom Wednesdays. And this is a class that I host for all of the members for free of charge for all of the members. And it happens on Wednesdays. And I post the calendar in the Discord for everyone to make sure that you know when the classes will be. So make sure you are in tune with Discord and keeping up with the calendar so you all know when the classes are. And this is the Ma'at Wisdom Wednesday class, which is another phenomenal class where we go through the Seba'it, which is the teachings, the instructions, which are the real laws of Ma'at. And we go through what the ancient scribes wrote to guide us through our walk. And House of Aten, of course, houseofaten.org. That is our website. Make sure you all go to visit the houseofaten.org, where you can purchase merchandise. We have merch there that you all can purchase, and we have ebooks from the Great Saba Tehuti, Melanin Dark Consciousness. We have some beautiful affirmations there as well for you all to go download. The affirmation that we read at the intro and to close out the classes with, houseofaten.org. Everyone go there. And lastly, if you all support what we are doing, this is how you do so: through the PayPal or through the Cash App. You can support us by sending a tuition, what we call tuition, in to let us know that you are not only appreciating what we're bringing forth, but you are also reciprocating the energy that we're putting out, and letting us know that, hey, we appreciate you, and here's our support for that. So those links are also pinned to the top of the chat. If you look at the chat room, at the very top is the pinned link, which is the support links here. We put a lot of time, energy, and effort into organizing everything that we are doing for everyone to come together under Ma'at in. And it's important that we all support each other, as we always do here, which is why the House of Aten is so beautiful. When someone comes forth and has a business, we're supporting you. You know, if whatever you bring forth, we're supporting you. And this is what we should be doing. We should be supporting each other. So that is that. And it's also be scrolling at the bottom here, right there. So it's continuously always going through the doorways. All right. And so before we get started with the readings, we'll go through some of the support that we received in prior to class, some of the tuition from the wonderful supporters of the House of Aten, who we love very much. Okay, so we're going to share the screen, and we're going to start with the good brother SFEHK, who sends in 1111 for tuition for January 2024. To our great brother, as I said in the intro when introducing him as a member, he's an excellent member. He's in all the MetaNetter classes. He gets all the recordings as well for the Wisdom Wednesday classes if he's not there with us live. He's in his studies for sure. He won one of the House of Aten shirts through the question that we gave in the pod class. You know, so he's definitely in his studies, and we appreciate this great brother here. So tu'a to you. All right, next we have Black Alucard, who sends in $10 for, again, his tuition for the House of Aten. Yeah, Tua to this great brother, a man of very little words, but a very powerful brother. So Tua to you for supporting and also being in your studies, and we appreciate your presence, good brother Black Alucard, who is also Boss Fee, who you may see in the chat as Boss Fee. All right, and as we continue with the Tua Ishin for the House of Aten, next we have the good brother Jason Kirkland, who sends in $60 for membership Tua Ishin. So he paid up his Tua Ishin for a few months. So this is also a possibility that the members can utilize, and hinu to this great brother for his energy and the medu that he produces consistently. So Tua to this great brother. Let's give him a round of applause. All right, next we have the great brother Robert E. Williams Jr., who sends in 1072 for On the Strength. Keep teaching, brother. Tua. Tua to you, good brother. We will definitely keep teaching and keep leading with the left. So Tua for your consistency and your support that you provide every week. Okay, so Tua to you. All right, next we have one of the most consistent brothers on YouTube, Nito Campbell, who's been supporting since the very beginning consistently. Definitely one of the most consistent brothers when it comes to support and long term. So Tua to this great brother who sends in $9 for HOTEP. HOTEP, Tua. All right, next we have two from the great brother Nookpoo in the chat, who sends in 333 for Hinu, Ikiru, Nitirus, Ma'akaru, Maat. And then let's go to his next one, his second one here, 333 for Nefu, Ankh, Uja, Seneb, Heka'u, Ra, Heru, Kuti, Nubu, Nefer, Eve. Straight meta netter, we love it. To our great brother for the support and for the medu that you produce as well. This brother is always putting wonderful tones that I look forward to reading in the Discord every rising, every dua. So to our great brother for your aku. All right, and that's what the support looks like. When you send in the support, we showcase each and every one, and each and every one is just as important as the next. So it's not necessarily based on what you send in. It's just the actual fact of sending something in to show your support, and that's what we love. So HOTEP to everyone. SFEHK says, Tua to you, great brothers. Love the shirt. Also wearing it now. Been getting compliments on it today. Excellent. Yes, it's a wonderful conversation starter. Yeah, to our great brother for representing and representing the House of Aten. So I know you are definitely appreciating all of what's happening here. So Tua to you, Nookpoo, with the emojis, the owl, and the celebration. It says Nini Uk. Absolutely. Maharu, peace to you, good brother, says HOTEP. Another great House of Aten member. Peace to you, great brother, for being here with us. Okay, so now we're going to get into the reading. And of course, we're reading from William Kelly Simpson, Ancient Egyptian Literature. If you all do not have that book, you should definitely have that book for sure, because it has a lot of the Sebai, a lot of the actual writings of our great ancestors. So if you want to know what the ancestors said, then we should be reading literature that is based on that. Okay, and let me see if I can find the cover for you all, for anybody new in the chat, so you all can see. And here it is right here. The Literature of Ancient Egypt, an anthology of stories, instructions, stele, autobiographies, and poetry by William Kelly Simpson. Oh, there you go, Golden Eye. He says, can you show the cover? Yes, there it is. Literature of Ancient Egypt. I have it here as well. So that's the cover, and everyone should have this book. All right. So let us begin. We're going to start by reading the BENTRESH Stela. And this is on page 361 in the Literature of Ancient Egyptian book. So let me pull that up so we can share screen. Shout out to Big Vapes. Hotep to you, good brother. Big Vapes is in the building. Golden Eye says, got it. Okay, great. Hotep to the great Big Vapes, FKA righteous. All right, now let me pull this up and share screen. Okay. There we go. Let me make sure that you all can see this. All right. Make sure that's clear so everyone can see it clear. All right. Put a 72 in the chat if you all are ready to get started with this reading. If you are ready to delve into some stelas, let's go into the stone writings of what the great ancestor said, the Pa'ut, the Tep Awi. This is so important. So this is in the Louvre Museum, C284. So let me get 72s in the chat if you all are ready to get started. When I start seeing them, then we'll get started. And I will, here we go. Let's let me show you all. Let me show you all the Stela as well. Okay, I see the 72s coming in. And we will begin to get started. Okay, so I'm gonna take you directly to the Louvre Museum so we can actually see before we actually read it. Let's go to the Louvre and look at the actual Stela here. As you all can see. Okay, so this is what we will be reading. Okay, another beautiful piece of ancestral artifact over religious opinion here, which you see the beautiful language here written on stone. So this is what we will be reading, the BENTRESH Stela. Okay, let's get going. All right, so Set, like the Demotic tale of Setna Kayim Muas during the illustrious reign of Ramesses II. This pseudepigraphic tale of demonic possession is attested in two late sources from Thebes. Oh, you see what we're getting into? The better known exemplar, a black sandstone stela now in the Louvre in Paris, derives from a small Ptolemaic chapel that formerly stood beside the Khonsu temple at Karnak. The date of the Louvre stela is disputed, with suggestions ranging from Dynasty 25 to the Ptolemaic period. The second, still unpublished exemplar was discovered by the Oriental Institute's epigraphic survey at the Luxor Temple during its 1978 to 79 season. Once erected in monumental format, the Dynasty 30 text survives in some 35 stone blocks, containing approximately 1/5 of the previously known version. Though anachronistic, the BENTRESH stela preserves historical memory of the diplomatic marriages of foreign princesses to the New Kingdom rulers THUTMOSE IV and Ramesses II, whose royal titularies are mingled in the opening protocol. The figure of NEFER is surely derived from the latter's Hittite wife, accorded to the Egyptian name Maat Nefer, and the princess BENTRESH appears to have a Semitic name, devised on the model of Bentenat, daughter of Ramesses II. The central theme of the tale has some historical foundation as well, since the exchange of physicians and healing statues is well documented in the surviving diplomatic correspondence between Egypt and its eastern neighbors. One such exchange was even initiated by a request from the father of Maat Nefer, though for his sister rather than a younger daughter. The exotic land of Aten, perhaps to be identified with Bactria, is otherwise unknown. The hostile manifestation of an effective spirit, which is the Ak, as a ghost. So that word Ak, which is also creates the word Aku, which is the real name for the great pyramids, is called the Aku, and it means light, and it also means spirit. It's one of the oldest words that we can find that's actually written in glyphs in the tomb of Scorpion. On bone tags, you'll see the Ak, which means spirit. So here is the hostile manifestation of an effective spirit. Ak, as a ghost, is well attested in Egyptian writings, ranging from Old Kingdom private tomb curses to Hellenistic era demotic romances. The exploitation of disgruntled spirits underlies state execration rituals in which the damned are placed in the power of forsaken spirits whose tomb offerings and pleasant dispositions have long since lapsed. Medical texts and private letters to the dead regularly attribute illness to ghostly possession. So this is something that we always documented and overstood, that illness is always going to be attributed to a actual living consciousness existing within you as sickness, right? So we always overstood that. Regularly attribute illness to ghostly possession, and the physician THUTMOSE's diagnosis is both traditional and expressed precisely in standard medical phraseology. For Egyptian conceptions, it is significant that the possessing spirit, once dispelled by the protective image of Khonsu, is pacified by appropriate offerings and a party. The spirit is famished and in need of attention, but not inherently evil. Styled as a formal state document with full titulary and royal encomium, the late text served as cultic propaganda for the healing shrine of the Theban lunar deity Khonsu and his portable image Khonsu the Authority. Khonsu is associated with specific illnesses by the New Kingdom, and in the third intermediate period, his temple issued oracular amuletic decrees, protecting the bearer from a detailed list of maladies, including spirit possession of the type detailed below. The statue's name, Authority, refers to his ability to govern or control roaming spirits. Okay, so we see what we're getting into, which is very important information as well. And it's something that all of your Kemetic teachers run away from and are ashamed of. But we completely overstood the what's called, what I call the aku, in replace of the word for spirituality, right? Because the spirituality doesn't necessarily denounce what aku is, because spiritual is breath, but this is the aku, and we always completely overstood that. So we're going to get into some of the oldest, of course, attestations of demonic possession, spirit possession. Okay, so we're going to start. The Horus, strong bull. Hold on, before we get started, I do want to let me change up the tone. There we go. The Horus, strong bull, whose crowns are pleasing, the two ladies. He whose kingship endures like Aten, the golden Horus. He whose arm is powerful, who repels the 9 bows. The king of upper and lower Kemet, lord of the 2 lands, Usur Maat Re Setepen Re, the bodily son of Re, who is Ramesses II. Ramesses, beloved of Amun, beloved of Amun Re, lord of the thrones of the 2 lands and of the entire Ennead of Thebes. The good God, son of Amun, offspring of Herokuti, the effective seed of the Lord of the universe, whom Kamutef has begotten, the king of the black land, the ruler of the red land, the sovereign who seizes the 9 bows, who came forth from the womb with victories foretold for him, for whom heroism was decreed in the egg, the bull whose heart is firm as he treads the arena, the divine king who goes forth on the day of victory like Mantu, he whose strength is great like the son of Nut. Now, his majesty was in Mitanni in accordance with his customary annual ritual, while the princes of all foreign lands had come bowing in peace to the might of his majesty from as far as the remote marshlands, with their gifts of gold, lapis lazuli, turquoise, and every manner of aromatic plant of the Netter's lands on their backs, each one exceeding his fellow. Then the prince of Bactan presented his gifts, and he placed his eldest daughter in front of them, paying homage to his majesty and beseeching life from him. The woman was exceedingly beautiful in the estimation of his majesty, beyond anything. Thus, her titulary was set down as the great queen, Nefer Ure. When his majesty arrived in Kemet, then she did all that a queen does. Regnal year 23, month 2 of summer, day 22 occurred. Now, his majesty was in Thebes, the victorious, the mistress of cities, performing what is praiseworthy for his father, Amun Re, lord of the thrones of the 2 lands, in his beautiful festival of Luxor Temple, his favorite place from the earliest times. One came to say, His Majesty, a messenger of the Prince of Bactan has come with many gifts for the queen. Then he conducted into the presence of His Majesty together with his gifts. He said, in paying homage to His Majesty, praise be to you, O sun god of the 9 bows. Behold, we live through you. Then he spoke, kissing the ground before His Majesty. And again he said before His Majesty, I have come to you, O sovereign, my lord, concerning Bentresh, the younger sister of Queen Nefer Ure. A malady has pervaded her body. May your Majesty send a wise man to examine her. May your Majesty send a wise man to examine her. Then His Majesty said, bring to me the staff of the house of life, the Per Ankh, and the council of the residents. They were ushered into him at once. His Majesty said, "Behold, you have been summoned to hear this matter. Now, bring to me from among you one who is skilled in his mind and who can write with his fingers." So the royal scribe, Tehuti came before his Majesty, and his Majesty commanded that he go to Bactan with his messenger. So the wise man arrived at Bactan, and he found BENTRESH in the condition of one who has a ghost. He found him to be an enemy with whom one could contend. The prince of Bactan sent word again before his Majesty, saying, "O sovereign, my lord, may his Majesty command that a neter be brought to contend with the ghost," or the Ak. The message reached, "His Majesty is in regnal year 26, the first month of summer, during the festival of Amen," because this is, of course, how we dealt with time, right? It's not like how today the time was based on the rulership of the Nesubiti, the Par-Ii, the Pharaoh, the king. So this is his 26th regnal year, the first month of summer during the festival of Amen, when his Majesty was in Thebes. Then his Majesty reported before Khonsu in Thebes, NEFER, saying, "My good lord, it is concerning the daughter of the prince of Bactan that I report before you." Then Khonsu in Thebes, NEFER, was conducted to Khonsu the authority, the great neter who expels wandering spirits. Then his Majesty said before Khonsu in Thebes, NEFER, "My good lord, will you give your attention to Khonsu the authority, the great neter who expels wandering spirits, to cause that he go to Bactan?" Very favorable response. Then his Majesty said, "Place your magical protection with him, so that I might cause his Majesty to go to Bactan to save the daughter of the prince of Bactan." Very favorable response by Khonsu in Thebes, NEFER. Then he made magical protection for Khonsu the authority in Thebes 4 times. His Majesty commanded that Khonsu the authority in Thebes be made to proceed to the great bark with 5 transport boats, a chariot, and many horses of the west and the east. This neter reached Bactan at the completion of 1 year and 5 months. Then the prince of Bactan, together with his army and his officials, came before Khonsu the authority, and he placed himself upon his belly, saying, "As you have come to us, so may you be favorable to us, in accordance with the commands of the king of Upper and Lower Kemet, Usur Maat Re Setepen Re." Then this neter went to the place where BENTRESH was. Then he made magical protection for the daughter of the prince of the Bactan, and she was well at once. Then this ghost who was with her said before Khonsu the authority in Thebes, "Welcome, O great neter who expels wandering spirits. Bactan is in your town. Its people are your servants. I am your servant. I shall go back to the place from which I came, in order to set your heart at rest concerning that for which you came. May your Majesty issue a command to celebrate with me and the prince of Bactan." Then this neter nodded approval to his prophet, saying, "Let the prince of Bactan make a great offering in the presence of this Ak." While these things were done, Khonsu the authority in Thebes was with the ghost, while the prince of Bactan was waiting with his soldiers, being very greatly afraid. Then he made a great offering in the presence of Khonsu the authority in Thebes, and the Ak of the daughter of the prince of Bactan celebrating for them. Then the Ak went away in peace to the place that he wished, in accordance with the command of Khonsu the authority in Thebes. The prince of Bactan was shouting for joy very fervently, together with everyone who was in Bactan. Then he schemed with his heart, saying, "I shall cause that this god be here in Bactan. I shall not allow him to go to Kemet." Then this neter completed 3 years and 9 months in Bactan. Thereafter, the prince of Bactan was sleeping on his bed, and he saw this neter having come out of his shrine as a falcon of gold, flying up towards Kemet. So he awoke in panic. Then he said to the prophet of Khonsu, the authority in Thebes, "This neter, he was here with us, but he should go to Kemet. Let his chariot go to Kemet." Then the prince of Bactan allowed this neter to proceed to Kemet, giving to him very many gifts of everything good and very many soldiers and horses. They arrived in peace in Thebes. Then Khonsu in Thebes, the authority in Thebes, went to the temple of Khonsu in Thebes, Nefer Hotep, and he placed the gifts that the prince of Bactan gave to him, consisting of everything good, in the presence of Khonsu in Thebes, Nefer Hotep, without giving everything from it to his temple. Khonsu, the authority in Thebes, arrived at his temple in peace in Regnal year 33, month 2 of winter, day 19, of the king of Upper and Lower Kemet, Usur Maat Re, Setepin Re, who has attained the state of being given life like Re forever. And that is the conclusion. All right, so that's a one of many stories of quote unquote ghost stories that we have in Kemet. And so, you know, when you're speaking to, you know, those who come forth as Kemetic teachers, I need you to ask them where do we find, do we find anything of any stories of any spirits or ghosts, and see what they say, and to let you know if they're reading the literature of our ancestors, right? So Hotep Henu to the wonderful scribes who documented that, and also the great scribe who was also in the story, Tehuti Imheb, who did the removal of the negative spirit and transmuted the energy of that Ak into something more positive, which is absolutely something that we do. So Henu to the ancestors for documenting that story in stone for us to have today. All right, peace and love, everyone. And now I'll pass it to the great brother Menkhu Ara Meri Maat, superior in the temples of the ancestors, and he'll read the great THUTMOSE Stele. Peace, great brother.
Hotep, I'm going to share screen. And I will be reading the poetical stela of THUTMOSE the Third. THUTMOSE the Third of the 18th dynasty was the greatest empire builder of Egypt's history, having conquered from the Sudan as far as Mesopotamia, the Black Granite Stela, Cairo Museum 34010, which bears the present text, was erected in the Great Temple of Amen-Ra at Karnak to celebrate the numerous conquests of Thutmose. Although erected after the king's victories, the text is composed in the form of a prophecy spoken by the god Amen-Ra, promising Thutmose his support in the winning of universal dominion of Kemet. The text is divided into 3 sections: a prologue composed in a poetic prose style, the actual poem of victory, and a short epilogue, also in poetic prose. The poem is a masterpiece of martial poetry, which aptly reflects the military spirit of the victorious Egyptian army. The text was first published by Menkhu, Stele de Nouveau Empire, Volume 1. Catalogue General de Musée du Caire in Cairo in 1909, 1721, and PL, I think that's VII or 7. And an edition may be found in the book, Egyptian Reading Book, Leiden, 1948, 53 through 56. A number of other translations of the text are also available, including the one of R.O. Faulkner in the early editions of this book, page 285 to 288. Although that transition omits the prologue and the apology, Merriam-Webster also has a complete translation in Ancient Egyptian Literature, Volume 2, Berkeley, 1976, page 35 to 39. The Royal Stele Prologue. Thus speaks Amen-Re, Lord of the thrones of the 2 lands. Come to me and rejoice at the sight of my beauty, my son, my defender, Menkhu, who lives to eternity. I shall shine through love for you, my heart gladdened at your joyful entry into my temple. My hands shall endow your person with protection and life. For your comeliness is exceedingly pleasant to my breast. I shall establish you in my sanctuary and delight in you. I shall give you dominion and victory over all foreign lands. I shall establish your power and the awe of you in all the nations, and the fear of you shall extend to the 4 pillars of heaven. I shall increase admiration for you in all flesh, and extend your majestic battle cry throughout the 9 bowls. The nobles of every foreign land will be united in your fist, for I myself shall extend my arms to bind them for you. I shall shackle the Nubian archers by 10,000s of thousands, and the men of the north by hundreds of captives. I shall cause your foes to fall beneath your feet, and you will trample upon the rebellious and traitors. For I have assigned to you the earth in its length and in its breadth. And for men of west and east are under your control. You will trample down all foreign lands, your heart rejoicing. For there will be none who can stand in your majesty's presence. Under my guidance you shall overwhelm them, having crossed the water of the great river which surrounds Naharan, and the victory and power which I have destined for you. They shall hear your war cry and hide in their holes. For I have deprived their nostrils of the breath of life, implanting the fear of your majesty deep within their hearts. May Uraeus upon your brow will destroy them. My Uraeus upon your brow will destroy them. Making the savages easy prey, and consuming the islanders with its fire. It will behead the Asiatics, for they will have no protection, and your enemies will succumb to its strength. I shall cause your victory to encompass all lands. My glittering Uraeus will be your protector, and there will be none who can oppose you to the furthest reach of heaven. All men will come weighed down beneath their tribute, and bowing to your majesty as I have ordained. I shall cripple the opponents who come against you, for their courage will have burned away as their bodies quake with fear. Poem of Victory. I have come to empower you to crush the rulers of Jihad. I shall lay them low beneath your feet throughout their lands. I shall cause them to know your majesty as the neb of sunlight, and you will shine before them as my image. I have come to empower you to crush the men of Asia. You will smash the heads of the nomads of Retinue, and I shall cause them to know your majesty, adorned in your royal insignia. When you raise up weapons of war in your chariot, I have come to empower you to crush the eastern lands. You would tread down those who dwell in the regions of Neteru's land, and I shall cause them to know your majesty as a thunderbolt, which hurls its flames as fire as it makes its attack. Had the form of a serpent, it was a protective symbol of royal and divine power, and its purpose was protection against the enemies of the king. Jihad, the general area extended through Palestine, Syria, and northern Mesopotamia. To know, lit, to see. The sense of the text, however, is not that the foes of Kemet will simply see the king as expressed by the various images which follow in the text, but that they will actually experience him as such. Retinue, Syria, Palestine. The expression Kemet's land was used to designate those lesser known and somewhat exotic territories outside the traditional boundaries of Kemet. Its normally usage refers to the land of Punt, possibly Somaliland, but here it appears to be used of territories to the east. I have come to empower you to crush the western lands. Keftiu and Isi stand in awe of you. I shall cause them to know your majesty as a young bull, firm of heart, sharp of horn, whom none can hinder. I have come to empower you to crush the heathen. The lands of Mitanni tremble through dread of you. I shall cause them to know your majesty as a crocodile, the dread one of the river, whom none dare approach. I have come to empower you to crush those who dwell on the islands. Those who dwell in the midst of the sea shall succumb to you, your war cry. I shall cause them to know your majesty as the avenger, who stands upon the back of his wild bull. I have come to empower you to crush the Libyans. The island of Eugentiu belong to the strength of your might. I shall cause them to know your majesty as a hostile lion, and you will render them carrion throughout their valleys. I have come to empower you to crush the very ends of the earth. All that the ocean encircles is enclosed within your grasp. I shall cause them to know your majesty as Neb of the wings of Horus, one who seizes with only his glance whatever he desires. I have come to empower you to crush the leaders of the earth. You will fetter the Bedouins as prisoners. I shall cause them to know your majesty as the jackal of Upper Kemet, the swift runner who traverses the two lands. I have come to empower you to crush the bowman. Nubia as far as Shat is in your possession. Tiftiu, the island of Crete, or possibly the general area of the Mediterranean. Issy, possibly the island of Cyprus, although Cyprus is not to the west of Kemet. The kingdom of Mitanni was situated between the Tigris and the Euphrates River. Its empire, which reached its height during the 15th century BC, extended across Syria as far as the area of Palestine. The imagery of the two lines is based on that of Horus, the avenger of Asar, who defeats Seth, the wild bull. The Horus, THUTMOSE, is thus portrayed as the rightful conqueror of the foreigners who are the enemies of Kemet, an unknown region, a territory in Nubia. I shall cause them to know your majesty as your two brothers, whose two hands I have joined for you in victory. Behold, your two sisters, I have placed them as a protection around you, and the arms of my majesty are uplifted to disperse all evil. I shall make firm your defense, my son, my chosen one, Horus, victorious bull in Thebes, whom I have begotten from my every body. To THUTMOSE, who lives to eternity, who performs for me everything which my Ka desires. You have erected my temple as a structure enduring to eternity, wilder and longer than it had previously been. And its great portal is named Menkhu, celebrates the beauty of Amun-Re. Greater are your monuments than those of any ruler who has ever existed. Whoa. I ordered you to construct them, and I am content with them. I shall establish you upon the Horus throne of millions of years, and you will rule the living forever. The two brothers mentioned here are Horus and Seth, symbol of the dual kingship of Upper and Lower Kemet. Two sisters, Asar and Neptet, not Asar, Aset and Neptet, used here as symbols of the divinely given royal power.
HOTEP too, a great brother. We're going to continue the reading.
Welcome, great brother ATEF. How you doing, great brother?
HOTEP, great brothers. HOTEP. 2 out for holding me down, great brothers. We're going to keep it pushing. Let me see if I can share my screen. We are next going to read the NEFER HOTEP Stela. 2 out, great reading, Menkhu, Rob, brother. That was excellent, my brother.
Many up.
Present. Share screen. Is my screen sharing?
Yes.
Okay, 2 out. Can y'all brothers hear me too? I got a new mic, everybody. I don't know how it sounds. 2 out of NEFER HOTEP Stela. And this is on page 339 of the literature of ancient Kemet. The Stela of NEFER HOTEP I of Dynasty 13, found and copied by Meri at Abydos, was apparently transported to the Bolek Museum in Cairo, and then lost sight of. Its present location is unknown. NEFER HOTEP I is considered the 22nd king of Dynasty 13 and credited with the reign of 11 years in the Turin royal canon. The family is discussed in Michael Dwecher, Leroy Sahator, et La Familia de NEFER HOTEP I, RDE 28, 1976, 66 to page 73, and Labib Habachi, The New Light on the NEFER HOTEP I family and revealed by their inscriptions in the Cataract area in W.K. Simpson and W.M. Davis, eds. Studies in Ancient Egypt, the Argean and the Sudan Essays, Dunham, Boston, 1981, page 77 to 81. Mariette's text was studied in detail and various possible corrections were made by Piper in 1929. The standard version of Wolfgang Heck, Historic Bibliothek Texter Zyrenek un New Text der 18, Dynasty 2nd, Rev. Ed Weisbet, 1983, number 32, 21 to 29. Although the text is somewhat disjointed from our perspective, several elements are clear. The king, apparently in the north, at his residence, desires to fashion or refashion an image of Osiris for the use in the religious drama enacted each year at Abydos. He seeks out the plans and designs for this image in the library and boasts of his personal success in this. He sends one of his officials south to Abydos, and upon the official's return, the king himself apparently journeys to Abydos to celebrate the ritual, which includes a procession and the enactment of the drama in which actors attack the Nether's vessels and are driven off. The king boasts of his own supervision of the work on the divine image. The sequence of events is not entirely clear. The round top stela has in its lunette the winged sun disk with the urea and the label Bedet, the great god, lord of the sky. Beneath this is the king's tutelary in equal large hieroglyphs. The Horus, founder of the two lands, king of Upper and Lower Kemet, Ka-Shekem, Re, son of Ra NEFER HOTEP, beloved of Osiris, foremost of the Westerners, lord of Abydos, the falcon of gold, lasting of love, king of Upper and Lower Kemet, Egypt, Ka-Shekem Ra, son of Ra NEFER HOTEP, beloved of Osiris, foremost of the Westerners, lord of Abydos. Below the lunate are 40 lines of text. Regnal year 2, under the majesty of the Horus, founder of the two lands, he of the two ladies, revealing the truth, falcon of gold, lasting of love, king of Upper and Lower Kemet, Ka-Shekem Ra, son of Re NEFER HOTEP, born to the king's mother, Kimi, granted life, stability, and dominion like Ra forever. The appearance of the king upon the Horus throne in the palace, called the Exalted of Beauty, His Majesty said to the nobles and of the companions who were in his retinue, the scribes loyal to the hieroglyphs, and those who were in charge of all the confidential matters. My heart wishes to see the primeval writings of ATTON. Unroll for me the great inventory. Let me know the God in his essence, and in the Ennead in its nature, that I may offer to them divine offerings and offer bread upon the altars, so that I might know the God in his forms, that I might fashion for him according to his first time. For it is in order to effectuate their monuments upon earth, and that they may grant me the inheritance of Geb, being precisely all which the sun disk encompasses, that they have made me their protector. My office as head of the land has been given to me, for he, the God, knows the rectitude of my wisdom. I gave more than was entrusted to me. It was because of their desire that one act according to what they commanded, that they gave it to me. These companions then said, what your Ka decrees is what will come to pass. Sovereign Lord, may your majesty proceed to the libraries, houses of writings, that your majesty may see all the hieroglyphic writings. So his majesty proceeded to the library. Then his majesty unrolled the writings together with these companions. Thereupon his majesty found the writings of the temple of Osiris foremost of the writings of Westerners, Lord of Abydos. Then his majesty said to these companions, my majesty will protect my father, Osiris of the Westerners, Lord of Abydos, that I may fashion him together with his Ennead, as my majesty has observed in his writings. It was as he issued from the womb of the goddess Nut, that his form was made as king of Upper and Lower Egypt. I am his son, his protector, his seed, who come forth as master of his board hall, to whom Geb gave his inheritance, about which the Ennead is content. I being in his great office, which Ra granted, an effective son, who fashions him who fashioned him. I will say something important, and I will have you hear it, that you may open the heart so that it may live thereon. For I will have you know a righteous life in the manner of one who endures on the earth, making monuments for Osiris and perpetuating the renown of winter NEFER. If this is done, it will be beneficial for the land, and it shall be made effective for every land. I am the one who is in the thoughts of his father, Ra, the Lord that which exists and that which does not exist, one whom the gods made effective, even in the womb when I came forth designated as king of Upper and Lower Kemet. The crown of the south having being manifest on his head, as I ruled the entire Ennead. Then these companions said, as for those who are in the sky, they grant what your heart desires, and what your majesty decrees comes to pass. Then his majesty had the custodian of the royal property, who was in his retinue, summoned to him. And he said to him, journey southward together with a crew of sailors. Do not sleep night nor day until you reach Abydos. Cause foremost of the Westerners to proceed, for I will make his monuments as at the time of creation. Then these companions said, how excellent is what you have said, Sovereign Lord, that you would make your monuments in Abydos for your father foremost of the Westerners. This official journeyed southward, according to that which his majesty decreed for him. He arrived at Abydos at the appearance of this god. The majesty of this god proceeded to the Nesmet bark, mistress of eternity, to organize his crossing, and the river was greatly flooded with the scent of punt. They arrived at the residence, and one went to report to his majesty, saying, "This god has proceeded satisfactory." His majesty then proceeded to the god's bark, this fleet being equipped with the night bark and transport boats, the king himself traveling at the front upon the canal to fraternize with this god and to cause divine offerings to be made to his father, foremost of the Westerners, myrrh, wine, and divine products for Osiris, foremost of the Westerners, in all his identities, which he set down for this god, pacifying the destroyers and turning back the rebel against the Nesbet bark. Then the majesty of this god was caused to appear, his Ennead assembled in his company, while Weperet was in front of him as he cleared the roads from his enemies. Then the majesty of the gods was caused to proceed to the shrine, so that he came to rest in the workshop to fashion the beauties of his majesty together with his Ennead, his altars being fashioned with bronze and ornamented with every noble precious stone of God's land. Now his majesty himself supervised their work in silver, gold, and copper, his majesty being pure in the purification of the God and his of Lord of the West. Now as for a stolus, scribe, or craftsman of the workshop, who saw him at work in his temple. Now as for his majesty, who found these writings himself, never had any scribe who was in his retinue found them. It was in confidence that the god placed these things in his heart, like Osiris, foremost of the Westerners, Lord of Abydos. For it was ordered to him to be while still in the egg. For he felled the rebels of your majesty, that he might be praised day and night. For he grasped the enemies of your ship, annihilating the rebels of Ropaker. He knows the gateways of the netherworld and the gateways of the fields of reeds. His heart joyful with the calendrical offerings of the processions of every god on the Wag festival, the Tehuti festival, and an eternity of years therein. Your effective son, besides whom there is none like Horus, as this son avenges his father, your offspring, who provisions your offering tables, who makes pleasant the scent of your temple. Uncover the great throne, open the great shrines of him who made him. He stands up as king, possessing an eternal time upon earth, that he might prosper like the heavens, that he might be stable like the earth, that he might pass eternity like Nehekebka therein. May the hearts of your priests be joyful when they offer to his statues. The hearts of those who praise you are joyful, making acclamation to his images, the king of Upper and Lower Kemet, Ka-Sekhem, right? Son of Ra-Nefer Hotep, living forever and ever, born to the king's mother, Kimi, the vindicated. Then his majesty said, I will make recitations for you while driving off the rebels on the road of Ropaker. I will make jubilation for you and praise on the road of God when you, the God, arrive at Abydos in joy. The magistrates will be in front of you. The enemies will be pacified for you, and the arms of the evildoers brought low for you in Abydos. In the evening of night offerings, you shall be vindicated in the broad hall, your subjects in exhalation, your adherents in joy, since I have opposed the rebels against your majesty, just as I have appeased the hearts of my father Osiris, foremost of the Westerners, Lord of Abydos. For God loves the one who loves him, in whose your heart is all that I do. You make my memorials effective in your temple, and you let me be in the following of your majesty. You fulfill my contract, or you strengthen my arm in praise. Let there be given to me the arms of the priests in the procession at the great altar, that they may remember me with a good remembrance, that they may respect those who pronounce my name, that they may rejoice in allowing me to live, that they may wish the giving of praise to me at the seasons of this shrine, through that which a father transmits to his son when he becomes a wild priest of the gods. His rod of old age, guarding the property of his inheritance. Then shall he be firm upon his throne. Hearing this, repeat what I command. Indeed, one makes memorials by perpetuating the primeval times of the gods. Behold me having you learn, for I am before you. Be vigilant for the temple. Gaze at, pray the memorials which I have made. I shall have you learn about eternity according to my desire, that I might seek out what is beneficial for the future in placing this matter in your hearts, it being about to happen within this place, Abydos. God has accomplished it at my behest, to make effective my memorials in his temple, to fulfill my contracts in his house. His majesty desires what I have done for him, and he is rejoicing in what I ordained to be done. Vindication was awarded to him. I am his son, his protector. He gives me the inheritance of one upon the earth. I am a king, great of strength, effective of utterance. He who defies me shall not live. My opponent shall not draw breath. His name shall not be among the living. His ka shall be bound before the nobles, and he shall be cast out before this God, as one who opposes what my majesty commands. They who will not act according to this decree of my majesty, they will not raise me up to this noble God. They who will not be favored to what I have done with his offering, they who will not grant me praise at the festival of this shrine within this entire temple of this shrine and every office in Abydos. Indeed, my majesty has made these memorials for my father Osiris, foremost of the Westerners, Lord of Abydos, inasmuch as I love him more than all the gods. He gives me a reward for these monuments of mine, namely a lifetime of millions of years. The reward of the doer lies in what he has done. It is Maat in the opinion of God. HOTEP, great brother.
HOTEP.
Is it music playing in the background, or is my?
Yeah, there's music.
It is music.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can hear it. I got a different speaker playing. Yeah, that was great. 2 hours for reading for me, brother. I was on the road. I was on Alligator Alley for about 3 hours. It's a long highway with family, but
I said no problem.
Yeah, 2 hours for that, great brother. Man, it's very, very, very important, these writings of our ancestors. And as I was reading, I was contemplating my offerings and my altars, because I have them all over my house. And when I see people walk past them, they don't even know what they're looking at, you know? Even inside my vehicle as I'm driving, because I was listening a little bit of Ani as he was reading as best as I could. But yeah, it's so important how the writings of our ancestors are so unfamiliar to me. how they're so unfamiliar to us, but how important it is. Because like Ani pointed out, right now it's fireworks going off as I was driving home to get online. All I was seeing was fireworks and lights and explosions and different celebrations and so much ISFET celebrations. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely, it's incredible, man, because this matrix is so vast, brother. And we're so unfamiliar with our own culture. So unfamiliar with our own culture. And it's sad, but now is the best time right now. It's now is all we have. There is no other time. So I'm honored to read these writings and become familiar with these stelas. I didn't see when he showed it, when he showed the actual stela. I gotta go back and catch the replay of it. But man, it's just important, man, because even right now, this whole time is just a whole big ISFET celebration, and the whole world is just caught up in it. It's just like back to back celebrations. And one of the last questions I asked Saba last week, I wasn't in the class last week, but before that, was about being able to connect with our loved ones in that realm. Like my Naturt, I asked him a question. The question was, and he didn't answer it yet, but the question was, how do I connect with her there as well as here? So like we're together now, and now is the time that we have. But like our family and our friends and our loved ones are so important to us. How do we maintain that connection, or how do we build that bond now, so that when we pass and we're in that realm, we're still able to connect, right? So we know that me and you, Menkhu and Ani, and those of us that are in the chat, we know about the offerings and the altars and things like that. But how do we do that with the people that's here right now? Like, for example, our children, and teaching them so that, once we're all gone and once we're all in that realm, how do we find each other? So, like, for example, me and my Naturt. So Saba named me ATEF, family man, right? ATEF means father. And that's what I'm big on, is family. But as I begin to understand my actual Ren and what it means to be a father, and then I'm surrounded with family right now because they're all celebrating the ISFET. They're celebrating, and I seen Saba did a beautiful breakdown on Christmas yesterday. I'm looking forward to checking that out. I didn't get a chance to, but they're all celebrating the ISFET right now, and it's like widespread. So my thought 2 weeks ago was, how do we connect with our family in that realm? Like, how do we build strong bonds with the people that we love? Like, for example, like I give you an example. Like, Saba is the best teacher on the planet. He's the best teacher, period, right now, right? So when we get over there, how do we connect with you, Saba? How do we connect with each other? Where am I? Who's going to be our friends in that realm? So 2 weeks ago, I began to think about those things when it came to my family. Like, how do I maintain and build the relationships with the people that's here that we love, so that when we go there, because we all going, one thing for sure is we're all going to pass. How do we maintain those relationships? Yeah, we know about the altars and that here now, setting up the altars for the people that are not here. But how do we do that? How do we build the relationship with each other now? You know what I'm saying, Menkhu? That was a question I have, especially now, because everyone is coming together and celebrating and giving gifts and all this. So I'm seeing a lot of people. I'm spending a lot of time with family that I don't normally see, family from out of state, out of town. And it's a lot of them that I love dearly, truly, and they're just so lost. They're so lost when it comes to the ISFET. And then there's those that are very close to me, that have played a significant role in my life that I want to maintain a relationship with forever. Like you, brother, like Saba, you know, like my Natur, like my children. How do we maintain these relationships? So these writings and becoming familiar with our culture is definitely one way, because I've been having a lot of I don't know, like thoughts as far as, okay, so one thing happened. My aunt, very close to me, very dear, she went in the hospital and then she got out and then she went back. And so it's just like, when they gone, is there no way for us to build the relationship now so that when they're gone, we're able to see them there? Besides, you know, like when they're gone, like my altars for the people that are not here, for my ancestors, but for the ones that are here, how do we do that? You know, like that's the thing. So one of the ways is becoming familiar with our culture. So that's why these readings are so important, because we, Superman ain't gonna do us no good. Knowing Superman is Clark Kent and that he's a fictional made up character is not gonna do us no good. You know, but knowing who Osiris is, knowing who Aset is, knowing who Maat is, knowing who Tehuti is, those things are, knowing who Anubis is, those things are gonna benefit us and our loved ones in that realm. So, and it's a reflection of this realm over here. So the ISFET that's going on over here, it just seems as if it's way more intense over there, because it's different. So if we can't build and maintain close relationships with our loved ones here, how are we going to do that in that realm? You know, these are questions that I've been having over the last few weeks that I've been spending time with family. Things have been happening, but I've been spending an enormous amount of time with my family and just appreciating my family, appreciating the time that I have with them, appreciating life, appreciating the Natiru. That's really what it's about. It's really about appreciating our ancestors and what they left for us, brother. I'm not gonna be long-winded. It seems like I'm just going on, but I'm driving down the highway. You brothers are starting. I'm watching the celebration of ISFET. I'm rushing to get home to get on so that I can read. And I'm just thinking about these things about my family. And you know, I'm thinking about immortality. Like this thing, it's becoming real. Not that it ever was, not that it wasn't never real, but when you look around and like right now, when you look around and you see what's going on, and then just knowing the little bit that I know where I'm at, oh man, it's super real. It's super real for me. I was holding my wife's hand and just trying to connect with her, just thinking about those things during this time, because I'm just trying not to get caught up in the ISFET, and it's very, very difficult when it's all around you and that's all that's going on. You know, it's just the ISFET. So 2 out for the readings, good brother, for holding me down. I
mentioned this yesterday in Saba's podcast, but I'll share this with you now. One of the things I've kind of developed this, I don't know if it would qualify as a ritual, but one of the things that I've been doing to help me prepare for navigating the afterlife. By the way, all your questions are amazing questions, and you know, Hinu and Kestu, the Netaru, for sharing Saba with us, because he can answer those questions. One of the things that I've been doing to prepare for the Amduat is something you shared with me, John Anthony West, Magical Egypt series, episode 5 is amazing in navigating the afterlife. I do my my rituals and spells that Saba gives me, which includes the affirmation and different things that he shared with us. but I listen to that while I'm going into the Upesh. I have been listening to episode 5 a lot lately, and I'm like, why am I listening to this? Why am I listening to this so much? And I'm like, no, this is preparation, right? We need to know. We need to be fully equipped. We need to be prepared as much as we can be prepared. We can't be prepared for everything, but I feel like miracles are what people are. Synchronicities, like Saba said, we should be ahead of the synchronicities. We should be able. So what some people call miracles, those should be everyday normal things for us. We should not be excited about being clairvoyant, seeing the future, deja vu, synchronicities, being able to bring things into so-called manifestation. We should, like, as we are growing and learning and in this energy, Heka, like magic, there's all kind of, people should know, like Saba said, people should be able to tell that there's something different for us. And so the different hours of the Amduat is, I'm super fascinated about that. And that will either be something to ask Saba on a one-on-one basis to kind of like go dive deeper into that, or something that we kind of go over in the MetaNetter Monday classes. I don't know if that would be something he would want to dive into on the pod class, but I'm like more, I don't know why, maybe it's just my maturation or my courage or in my transformation that, Saba said something really powerful, and I've been hearing it a lot lately. And so Saba says, once you know that you can never die, then that changes everything. And I heard this other in my algorithm now on my YouTube, because mostly everything that I watch is about Maat or Kemet. I'm still like a culture person too, so music and stuff like that, art and history. But I ran across a video from actually one guy that was in The Secret, and he was interviewing this guy that got struck by lightning. And this dude has, like, he said he's died and come back 4 times. And so he was like talking about different aspects to, so-called coding or flatlining and then coming back. But he was talking about one of the things that he mentioned that was very powerful. He said, you cannot kill a spiritual being. A spiritual being cannot die. And so, yeah, I've been, when I'm going to sleep pretty consistently, I've been listening to John Anthony Wells episode number 5, Navigating the Afterlife. I'm like, love it. I want to read the Amduat. I want to do it. I want to do it with my family, with, people in the chat and Saba and everything. I'm just having an introduction to it, but I don't know why. Why am I so excited about this? But I'm excited about so many different aspects to understanding my true identity. And every time I learn about a new Netta root or Neterts, the more I learn about Maat, I'm like, I'm reliving the memories. And I'm like, my family just got bigger. It was like a family reunion, and I'm meeting family members for the first time is the energy that I'm in right now.
Thanks. Quick question. You said episode 5 of that one, because I watched it so long ago. That's another thing. When I watch stuff or read stuff and it doesn't make sense to me, then a little while later when I go back to it, I'm gonna go back and check it out, because I remember I watched it. I don't remember it though. How many is it? 6 or 5?
I'm not sure. So sometimes what I'll do when I'm in bed, and Sab was like, I should not be having my phone at bed, but but anyway, like sometimes,
It's episode 5 though.
Yep, it's
Okay, I gotta go back and check it out.
Sometimes I'm scrolling, I'm like, which one do I want to watch? Like, which one is connecting with where I'm at energetically? And so majority of the time I've been watching episode 5. And so yes. I want to learn more about the hours of the Amduat and being in that realm. And the beautiful synchronicity is, I believe it's in the tomb of THUTMOSE III, which of course you gotta love him, right? He's like the universe's greatest warrior ever. He's undefeated. So I really get excited about learning more about him and the Amduat. And so John Anthony West is in the tomb, and he's like talking about the meta netter that is on the walls in his tomb. It's pretty powerful.
Nini to our brother, Nini great sister Menti. She said to our for sharing those files. Yeah, Nini great sister. Anytime.
Yeah, ATEF. Yeah, watch that with the Turk. And
I will. You know, I watched it so long ago when I had it, brother, that I didn't even know what I was watching. Seriously. And then, you know, it's so beautiful is that after I watched it, then Saba started teaching things, started revealing themselves, and then it started clicking and remembering. That's why I'm like, which episode 5 or 6? I'm definitely gonna go back and recheck it out because I haven't watched it in a couple of years. So I'm definitely gonna check that out tonight, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, your wealth is so abundant. You give me books and you giving me these videos. You got so much you don't even know what you have. So yeah, you share that with me.
Good brother. You just stay tuned, great brother, because I have stay tuned, good brother, because I have a whole lot more for you, brother. Just stay tuned.
I'm excited because you and Ani and Saba is just giving me bows and arrows and all kind of axes to equip myself for this word that we're in, and knowing that every time, like even reading tonight, I was like, I write down every time I hear a new netter or netert, I write it down. I was like, oh, I gotta know more about them because I never even heard of them until most recently. Being in this family and being in this energy, I'm learning it's like our family is like infinitely big.
Yeah, that's a fact. That one of the things that I do is I name my plants after the Natiru. That's one of the ways. So like how you said when you hear a new netter, that's what I do. I'll name either a stone or a plant or something that I see often, and when I see it, because as the great brother Ani said, everything has a ka, so everything has an energy attached to it. So one of the ways that I try to remember is by doing that. So for that, great brother. I'm with you. Ani, what's happening, good brother? HOTEP, for holding it down for me, brother.
Yes, HOTEP, great brother. Glad to see you here with us and
yes,
safe. Hinu to you and your Aut, to your Neteret, and to your children. Sending them much love and peace as well.
To our great brother.
Yes, Nini Uk. Yes, this was a phenomenal reading. Great brother Menkhu Ara, do you have the 3 books by Budge, the Egyptian Heaven and Hell?
No.
Well, that's where you'll find the books of the Amduat. There's 3 books, volume 1, 2, and 3, and they have a short version in one of the books, and they also has the book of Gates in there too. I think in the second volume, and the first one, breaks it all down by the hours, 1 through 12, and it shows images as well. And so definitely. Those books right there will give you those writings that you're looking for to read. Exactly what's on. Yes, THUTMOSE III, his Perhe, as well as Seti the First. It's pretty well attested throughout many of what they call the tombs of the Mastabas, the 12 hours of the night of the Amduat. So yes, those books right there is a great place to be able to read those.
Brother,
And,
Ani, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Can you tell me the title of the book again? The books, the three books?
Yes, it's The Egyptian Heaven and Hell, Volume 1, 2, and 3.
Who that's Budge? Because I have this one right here. I don't know if y'all can see. Can you see this one?
The Book of Gates.
Yeah, I have this, and it's a pretty big book, but it's not Budge. It's Michael Shepard.
Yeah, the Book of Gates is also it's very similar set of writings, but yes, this one is by Budge.
By Budge. Let me see.
Yo, Budge. Woo!
Yes.
He was working. Budge was getting busy.
Yes. Listen, I don't even mean to cut you off, brother. I got a book now by Budge. I don't know what it's called. Magic.
Mm-hmm.
You seen that book?
Yeah, I've read that book.
Oh, you have? Man, listen, that's what I'm reading that now as I go to bed, and it's talking about the amulets and these different things. I'm getting so many different beautiful ideas, brother.
Why was Budge so committed? What inspired him to, he had to be working tirelessly, right? How many years was Budge at it, right? It had to be centuries, right? Like, he was not playing around. He was scribing scribes. He's studying the scholars. Like he has a legacy. He did something with his life. I want a little bit of what he had as far as what he accomplished for sharing our history, everything that he's doing. Now I see why Saul likes him.
Yeah, he did a lot of work, not only in Kemet, but also with Kiangi, the people of Kiangi and the Sumerians. He did a lot of work in there too. And he, a lot of, when you read his books, a lot of his sources, they may be in French. So he was able to read and speak all these different languages to gather together multiple sources of different attestations that are in different languages. That's another one of the reasons why I love the internet so much, because I can pull up a book that's in French and start to decipher it in English. And there's so much work that people are doing all around the planet on Kemet that we technically don't have access to because it's in a language that we don't read. But here, because we have the internet and we can Google Translate, we can definitely. I have so many books on different languages, and it's funny learning to doing this research and even starting to study the hieratic. I can point out different words now in hieratic just because I see it and I study it and I look for certain things. And so there's many books, many scholars all across the planet who do a lot of work on Kemet and a lot of translations and transliterations. And sometimes you'll only find hieroglyphic transliterations in a language that's maybe German. But that's the beautiful thing about the tool that we have today. When we utilize it for the proper sources, we can get a lot done. And yes, but Budge was definitely someone who was extremely every single day had to be all day, every day with all the books that he wrote and all the translations that he gave. No one was. And the great thing always that Saba always said too, which makes the difference, is even with him having and putting all this work in, he still was not a follower of Maat. So even with all the information, it just goes to show it's a different type of frequency, but he was a key component in bringing forth a lot of the translations, and to out to him for that. So I have a couple things I want to share from the stories, because these were some.
Hey, Ani.
Yes.
Menkhu, when me and Ani got our rent together, Ani was showing me he was showing me a way to research, which I totally forgot now because it was in a different language. He was showing me how to translate, how you go, everything was in another language. And I was so confused because you have to go to one website to get it to translate. You got to show me again, but I have to actually see it because I didn't record as he was showing it to me. But it was all in another language. It was all in French, and yeah, it's a lot we missing out on. Go ahead, good brother.
Yeah, that's powerful. I need it on a different level.
All right, two are great brothers. Okay, let me share just a couple things from here. The first one, the BENTRESH Stele here. Here, of course, I showed this before we went in, and I'll show you again, ATEF, since you're here. This is the BENTRESH Stele from the first story that we read, which is another phenomenal text. And so here's something that a couple things I pointed out because I spoke about a little bit after the reading. But then His Majesty said, "Bring to me the staff of the House of Life," which of course is the per Ankh, which is he's saying, bring to me the scholars, bring to me the ones who are the scholars who are in the per Ankh, which is like a library or the place where studies happen. And the council of the residents. They were ushered into him at once. His Majesty said, "Behold, you have been summoned to hear this matter. Now bring to me from among you the one who is skilled in his mind, who can write with his fingers." So the royal scribe Tehuti Imheb came before His Majesty, and His Majesty commanded that he go to Bactan with his messenger. So this, the scribes play such an important part in ancient Kemet, and not only writing the text, as this stele here is about spirit possession, and this is who was brought forth to go to Bactan to remove the spirit from the daughter. So that's something to know. As you all know, I've been producing a show called Sessions, Sunday Sessions Scribal School, and teaching what all encompasses what it means to be a scribe, which is more than just writing, far more. So this is a royal scribe here, Nesu Sesh, who was commanded to go and perform this exorcism. So while these things were done, Khonsu, the authority in Thebes, was with the ghost. And this is speaking about Khonsu, the authority, right? Also a tut, or an image, a statue. While the prince of Bactan was waiting with his soldiers, he was very greatly afraid, right? And so you'll see that a lot, especially in today, and people call it spooky because they're spooked out. They're literally scared. They're literally full of fear. So they call it spooky. It's spooky. But this is why they won't even come close to any of this type of information, because they're full of fear. Right. Then he made a great offering in the presence of Khonsu, the authority in Thebes, and the ghost of the daughter of the prince of Bactan, celebrating for them. Then the ghost went away in peace. So this is a very important piece right here, and changes what is commonly known as exorcism. Right. And when we see these things, and when they portray them in movies, or when you hear about certain things, it's never the actual spirit that is being exorcised going anywhere in peace. Of course not. It's never that. So here it gives a completely different alternate perspective on what it means to exorcise a spirit that is negatively affecting someone that causes sickness in the body, right? So the ghost went away in peace to the place that he wished, right? That he wished. In accordance with the command of Khonshu, the authority in Thebes, the prince of Bakhtan was shouting for joy, right? The one who was greatly afraid. Now he's shouting for joy together with everyone, because now he's happy because the negative spirit has went away, and it went away in peace. And it actually spoke after this. And so of course this is and given an offering to the actual presence. In the presence of Khonshu Hotep, a great offering was given to the ghost, right? And so you never hear that, you know, where the to exercise someone or something from someone to provide an offering and to allow the spirit to exit in peace or to leave in peace. So this is definitely something that we all should be able to know and recognize, that the energy is, of course, can never be destroyed or created. Energy can only be transferred or transformed. And this is very important when dealing with people, especially dealing with spirit possession. And I have personally done this with people who can speak on it. You know, I can definitely attest to this. And this is a real thing. And so, you know, this is great that we have this in ancient writings to not only verify some of the experiences, but also to reconstruct how we think and how we look at everyone around us, because these are vessels, right? These are bodies, and you're easily accessible whenever you allow yourself to be opened up to different type of conscious energies that exist. We all know this, and it's the ones who it's the real spooky ones who are afraid to speak about these type of things because they don't truly have a defense for it, and they actually are conscious vessels for these type of energies and spirits that laugh at pain, that laugh at near-death encounters, that laugh at you know, this it's a joke. It's like the clown energy, right? So they definitely exist in people. So, you know, it's important for us on the side of Maat to understand this, and when dealing and communicating with people, that a lot of the time it may not even be that person that you're speaking with. People are just vessels for different type of conscious energies, and to always be vigilant in knowing that, and of course lead with Maat, and by doing so you're able to protect yourself in different types of ways. But this was a very powerful and important story that of course has many different attestations and different stelas and different stories that we have. So none of your Kemetic teachers will ever speak about this or even acknowledge any type of story like this, or will go with what is pronounced at the top of the pseudo-pigraphic writing, because you know, their eyes are closed. You know, there's people aren't able to see into these different realms and see that everything, what we our perception of what we see is such a small amount of what actually exists. And there are people who have the ability, right, to see things that other people can't see. And anytime, because anything can be manipulated, and anything can anyone can lie about anything, and people take advantage of certain things like this to gain monetary gain, it gets a bad rap all around the board, because people take advantage of these things. And so once one person does one thing in that type of community, now everyone gets plastered with that. But we have to have the discernment to be able to see who's real and who's not. And it's definitely something that is very important to know. So shout out to this Stele Hindu, to the ones who documented this and No one was walking around talking about, you know, this is pseudo. Like, no, this is real things that we experience and we still experience today. But a lot of people don't come out and speak about these things because they're afraid of what people are going to say in return. And you know, there's so many I've always been around people who had different type of abilities to see into different realms, from children to elders, and would validate what everyone is experiencing in one room. Oh, you see that? Oh, you see that? Yeah, from children to elders. And I've been told, and through my own personal experience growing up, you don't want to speak about these things because people would just call you crazy. People would just say, that ain't real. You're imagining these things. And so, you know, when you have that, especially as a child, you never speak about these things. And trust me, there are more people than you know who are able to see different type of conscious spirit energies that don't ever speak about them, because it's not a place to where we can speak about that openly. But that's another door that we're opening here at the House of Aten, for people to be comfortable and come forth and speak about your experiences that you had, because they are real, that's your experience. And especially when there's validation from the people around you, when there's 4 people who are confirming the same thing at the same exact time, everyone's lying about, how does everyone know the same lie without there's so many different ways to validate an experience, and those who are on a particular path are going to be guided in a particular way to be able to have that validation for you, and because this matrix will teach you that, you know, it's not real. And a lot of people do take advantage of that and make things up and take advantage of people, you know, who start businesses and say they can do these particular things and are acting. There are people who really act like they can do that. So, you know, because of that, people discount it completely. And that's incorrect. We should never discount something completely because of what a few people do in something. But that's the difference between Maat and having the eye of sight to see to the truth, to be guided through the truth of Maat, and have to watch it, to use all your senses together to have the correct sight. And that's where these senses, clairvoyance, clairsentience, like Menkhu was speaking about, this is not something that, this is something that we had consistently. And by taking, you know, now today it's like, oh, I'm clairvoyant, or I'm clairaudience, or oh, I'm clairsentience. But we taught to you to be connected with all of those things and connect all of those things together in one. And that's why it's an eye, because you can see through all of your senses. That's what we are to do. So this story here was very, very powerful, and I love this story. I want to answer this question. Minty Hotep, she says, is Coptic and hieratic the same? No, Coptic is the language that they speak now over there, and it's the Medu Netter, but it's written with Greek letters. So when you look up Coptic, you'll see Greek lettering, but it's actually the Medu Netter language. Hieratic is just a cursive form of the glyphs. So that's the difference. Is the Coptic is the Greek letters, and hieratic is the cursive form of the Medu Netter. And there's Demotic that comes right after hieratic, which is the even more simplified form. But yes, Coptic is still one of the living. When people say Medu Netter, it's not a living language. It actually still is, because people are speaking the Coptic language, which a lot of those words, including the word Ankh, if you say Ankh in Coptic, it is the word life, because a lot of the Medu Netter was transferred down into the Coptic when the Greeks came, and then they just used the lettering of the Greeks to speak the Medu Netter language. Okay, so 2 up for that one. And
I believe Ethiopia is a region where they speak Coptic. Is that correct?
Well, I know that it's in Egypt. I'm not sure. They may speak it in Coptic. I mean, in Ethiopia, because it's really dealing with the Coptic Church and Christianity, which did make its way to Ethiopia as well. So yes, yeah, it's definitely, the language is spoken for sure. So yeah, great observation, great brother Menkhu. All right, and now I want to go to the poetic stela of THUTMOSE the third, and point out a couple things about this writing and show a couple things. Of course, we know Menkhu Ara loves THUTMOSE the third, and good reason, because THUTMOSE the third was phenomenal on every single level. The stela we just read was him. It was a victory stela. He was victorious. If one thing to represent THUTMOSE the third was victory, Ma'akaru, for sure. And this was one of the questions I asked in the in Saba Tehuti's pod class for the winnings of the shirt, which was when THUTMOSE the third was a baby and he became king at 2 years old, who then took the throne until THUTMOSE the third was of age to run, and of course was Hatshepsut. So it's Hatshepsut who was ruling until THUTMOSE the third could take throne. So this part EE here is just phenomenal, and here is one of him in a Harakuti form, what they call a Sphinx. This is in the Met Museum. Just phenomenal. And here's the actual stela of the poetical stela of THUTMOSE the third. We see it here, and right here you see his Ren, right? Tehuti Mes, who is also Men Kepara. Men Kepara. So Menkhu Ara, they share the same bass tone, Men. Men Kepara, Menkhu Ara. So very similar in the root word of the name. So THUTMOSE the third here. So this is another beautiful stela right here. You see the two ladies at both ends. Okay, so thus speaks Amun-Re, Lord of the thrones of the two land. So this is Ra, Amun-Ra speaking, right? So this whole stele is in the perspective of Amun-Ra speaking. So I want that to be known, you know. So this is, you know, when people now again today, oh, this is channeling the channel. This stela is is the complete channel of Amun-Ra right here. Thus speaks Amun-Ra, Lord of the thrones of the two lands. Come to me and rejoice at the sight of my beauty, my son, my defender, Men Kepara, who lives to eternity. Okay, so it's important to know the perspective of who's narrating in these stories. And so this is Amun-Ra in first person speaking. I shall cripple the opponents who come against you, for their courage will have burned away as their bodies quake with fear. Right? So this is what we need to utilize. Because this is, you know, this is what our ancestors did as well. And of course, THUTMOSE the third was one of the greatest warriors. So he has his entire life to validate and back that what is being said here is true. I shall cripple the opponents who come against you, for their courage will have burned away as their bodies quake with fear. I shall cause them to know your majesty as a young bull, firm of heart, sharp of thorn, whom none can hinder. Right? This is an excellent stele to read and encompass within you, especially when it's time, when we understand where we're at, that the war that we're in, you know, to utilize these tones to connect with the Natiru and have these words, these tones be spoken through the Natiru for us, right? To again stand with that firm. So because what, you're the young bull, right? You're firm of heart, you're sharp of thorn, you're opening up, you're the oop, right? Whom none can hinder. Imagine a Natiru telling that to you. That that puts a different level of power and confidence within you when you hear that, when you have that type of sound vibration going toward you from a netter. So it's very powerful. I have come to empower you to crush the very ends of the earth. All that the ocean encircles is enclosed within your grasp. I shall cause them to know your majesty as Lord of the wings of Heru, one who seizes with only his glance whatever he desires. That's extremely powerful. One who seizes with only his glance, where he glances, whatever he desires, he seizes. That's very deep. That's extremely deep. Right? And this is Amun-Ra telling THUTMOSE, I have come to empower you. As Ra, as Tehuti, as Maat, as Seket, as Net, as Anpu, as Heru has come to tell us that they have empowered us, right? That we have this same ability to seize what we glance at and whatever we desire. We have that same ability, and we are given, we are being told this same thing, right? If you are to take in through your Ankh and through your Ankh, your ears and through your eyes, and allow those doors to receive that frequency and know it to be fact, it's a different level of power. Behold your two sisters, I have placed them as a protection around you, and the arms of my majesty are uplifted to disperse all evil. I shall make firm your defense, my son, my chosen one, Heru, victorious bull in Thebes, who I have begotten from my very body. That right there in itself, of course, this was normal to us. This was normal to us. So now, you know, when you come across these biblical writings and Jesus being begotten from God, he's the only begotten son. This is literally THUTMOSE saying that he is begotten from Ra, right? He is begotten from God. This is actually Ra telling him, I have begotten you. So of course, when they take this, they see all these stories and they put it into one person and make it seem as if that this Christ being is the one and only. People who don't know these stories, like Menkhu said, is they're all thrown up in awe. Like this is the Son of God. He's the flesh. He's the Word made flesh. This was all of us. This was for thousands of years we said that. So I mean, it's a different type of power and overstanding to know where you come from and who you're attached to and who you represent, and why they took these stories and made it and mashed all these different stories from the Sugagi and from the Cometians, the Ramech, and mashed all the stories together and created one God, one son, and only through that one idea you are allowed into the gates of heaven, you know. And so we read this in so many different stelas writings, through many different EEs, through many different scribes. You see this, you're begotten from the Natiru, THUTMOSE, who lives to eternity, who performs for me everything which my Ka desires. And this is one of the tones that I recite every single day when I close out our class with Sakim im Ardit, Murder Ka'a. I have obtained the power to do what pleases my Ka. And I recite that every single day to place that within my subconscious, so that it then becomes the actual foundation, right? Because we have to reprogram ourselves through sound vibrational tones to start to change and alter what happens within us, especially when we're in the Upesh, right? And this takes this consistency of reusing the same tones and the same vibrations over and over and over and over again to then begin to not only believe what you're saying, but to encompass what you're saying, to live out what you're saying. And now it becomes true. So who performs for me everything which my Ka desires? That's the whole purpose, to be able to do what my Ka desires. That's Sikim im arit, murdered. To do, that's the pleasure, to love, murdered Ka'a, to do what my Ka loves to do. That's what I have obtained the power to do. Just like THUTMOSE. You have erected my temple as a structure enduring to eternity, wider and longer than it had previously been. And its great what? Its great portal. Its great portal is named Menkhu, celebrates the beauty of Amun-Re. This is Amun-Ra saying that what you have erected, my temple that you have erected for me, that's enduring, that's men, for Hech, for eternity, for Techet, the same word for speaking, that which is enduring for eternity, wider and longer than it has previously been. This is a portal, and it's called Menkhu, celebrates the beauty of Amun-Re. Greater are your monuments than those of any ruler who has ever existed. I ordered you to construct them, and I content with them. I shall establish you upon the Heru, throne of Hech, throne of 1,000,000 of years, and you will rule the living forever. So these are very powerful tones, and to live in this every single day, it is to live in this every single day and to recite these words and to utilize these sound vibrational tones to empower you, to raise you back up. This is what we need, right? This is what we need to do every single day. The matrix is so powerful, and Saba Tehuti shows us through the podcast just a little bit of the depth, even though it's extremely deep. But what he shows is only so much time that he can show us certain things. And so what he shows us, you know, it's so deep and it goes in so many different avenues. So this is in play, and he's showing it to us. He's the doorway to show us what's truly happening. And so because we understand how powerful that these people are that built up this false matrix, that built up where we exist in this language that we speak, and we're doing all these different rituals from all these different cultures and different gods, Roman, Greek, all these mixed all together into one, and people are Christian, and all this confusion going on. It makes perfect sense as to why we have such a difficulty in becoming a little bit of what our ancestors was, because they spoke this way to themselves. This is the Natiru. This is Amun-Ra speaking to THUTMOSE, telling him this. And this is something that, you know, this is the power that they gave to Jesus Christ from God, because people will tell you, oh, if I'm gonna say, I'm, you know, you're Christ, you know, they'll look at you like you're crazy. God gave Christ all this power, right? And through a being that never existed, and the people can never become Christ. The people, the writings never teach you to become that. You can never become perfect. Jesus was the only one who was perfect. You can never become that. And that's the difference, because it takes away the power. It takes it away from you. But here in these writings, this is the Natiru speaking to someone who actually existed. And we're reading this, and we have that same ability to connect. So all these, we are extremely magical beings. And when we begin to know that from the depth of our core, then different things start to happen for you, and the Natiru begin to give you answers to your questions. So this was a very powerful story too that I love. THUTMOSE III. This Stele is fire. So last one. Let me get through this. Y'all can tell I love these writings. it just fills me up with just so much aku. Okay, and now we're gonna go to Nefer Hotep. Nefer Hotep, and this is Nefer Hotep the first. And so when we read at the beginning of the writings, this stele was translated, it was brought to Cairo Museum, and somehow, some way they lost it. So they don't know where this stele is. So we have the translation from the woman who found it and then translated it and brought it to Cairo, but it got lost somehow. So they don't know where the stele is. But this is Nefer Hotep the first, right here, 13th dynasty, part EE, 18th century. So very powerful. What we see here, right? Very well attested. Very well attested part EE here. Did a lot of works. Did a lot of works. Okay, I will say something important, and I will have you hear it, that you may open the heart so that it might live thereon. For I will have you know a righteous life in the manner of one who endures on earth, making monuments for Asar and perpetuating the renown of Nefer. If this is done, it will be beneficial for the land, and it shall be made effective for every land. So this is one of the earliest attestations of us having. It's speaking about erecting statues. So when it says monuments, it's talking about statues, right? It's talking about things that are erected of Asar. It's saying erect statues, tuts, images of Asar, right? Of course, what then goes back to why the reason why the Hebrews say that they don't have any images, because God told them, you do not make images of me, which is completely illogical, right? I can't make an image of me and my family. Like I can't do that. I can't make an image to the ones who I praise. I can't make an image of you. No, that's the complete opposite of what we taught, because they have to say that they can't erect any images because they didn't exist. So there has to be a validation for nothing existing, and that by saying that you cannot erect any images of me, it validates there not being any images. But that is the opposite of what we did. And this is Nefer Hotep saying to erect monuments for Asar, perpetuating the renown of Nefer, right? The opener of Nefer. If this is done, it will be beneficial, right? So again, these tuts, these statues have a ka, right? And the consciousness of what you erect and what you bring forth has the ability to encompass that. Just like these bodies were organic, movable, breathing objects, and because when the ka is removed, it then becomes dormant, and it's no different. Then you become in the karas, which the karas is the image for the tut erected. So it's the same. So when we understand that, when you have different images of the Natiru, these are again doorways. These are portals for the consciousness of that energy to exist in that thing that you have erected for it, so it can see through that. And when you travel and you go out of body, and you are able to see this and know this on a different level, because you can then do that yourself. You have the ability to take your consciousness and put it into another object and see through that. So if we can do that, then of course the Natiru have the ability to do that. So and it also gives you to know that all eyes are always on you. You know, even when you are by yourself, you're depending on what you do prior. You're not just by yourself. You know, If you're invoking the Natiru and you have different statues of them, their consciousness has the ability to sit within that and see. So it's just a fact. So and when you're able to travel out of body, you can validate that fact for yourself because you can do it. So this is Nefer Hotep the First, speaking about raising up and bringing forth monuments for Asar. He knows the gateways of the netherworld, right? He knows the gateways of the fields of reeds, the Seket Aru, right? The same words, the Aru, which the Seket is the realm of conscious memory, the Seka'u, the Aru or the Ari, the door, the field of reeds, right? The gateways to the netherworld. His heart joyful with the calendrical offerings of the processions of every netter on the Wag festival, the Tehuti festival, and eternity of years therein. Your effective son, beside whom there is none like Heru, as this son avenges his father, your offspring who provisions your offering tables, who makes pleasant the scent of your temple, uncover the great throne, open the great shrines of him who made him. So again, this is the Hotep. This is the whole purpose of why we have the doorway, we have the root, the rawet, and then we have the offering table right in front of the doorway, because you travel through that doorway, and why the offerings you bring physical offerings, and then you also etch offerings into the steles, into the tables, because it still holds the ka. It still holds the ka. You can still consume the energy from the actual carvings of the offerings, just like an actual apple being there. It's the ka that exists and the energy that goes into that allows the ancestors to take from that. So you know, this story was magnificent, because this teaches about the importance of erecting monuments for the Natiru and for your ancestors. You make my memorials effective in your temple, and you let me be in the following of your majesty. You fulfill my contract, or you strengthen my arm in praise. Let there be given to me the arms of the priests in the procession at the great altar, that they remember me with a good remembrance, that they may respect those who pronounce my name, that they may rejoice in allowing me to live, that they may wish the giving of praise to me at the seasons of the shrine through that which a father transmits to his son when becoming a Uab priest, which Uab or Ab, again, is the another word for to cleanse. Ebe, priest of this netter, his rod of old age guarding the property of his inheritance, then shall he be firm upon his throne. So again, this is so very important, and why providing different provisions for your ancestors and for the Natiru, and to utilize to remember the name, to pronounce my name. That's the sound vibration, right? To allow me to stay alive. And that's why the ancestors still continue to live, and why they also carved it in stone, and why they produced so much, and why they dedicated their entire lives to it. Because it ain't just one or two things that you got to know. It's everywhere you turn, every instance, left, right, up, down, everywhere you go, there is writings. And that's what makes the ancestors so superior, because they understood this way sooner than anybody else, and started to teach the ones to come up after how to do it. And we learn about that in the teachings of Ptah Hotep and all of the Seba'it of the ancient scribes, who wrote that this is passed down from the first ancestors. This is passed down from the Natiru. And so it was preserved that way. So again, this is so important. And when we encompass this and utilize this and use the tones, everything about the Purim Haru is Techeta on. That's how it starts. Techeta on. Thou sayest, I speaketh. So if you're not speaking these type of utterances, not even just in the metanetter, just in English, to say, I have the power to do this. I have obtained this. I have the ability to traverse consciously. I have the ability to, whatever it is that your Ka pleases to do, speak those things consistently. And you will see the results from it, because that's what our ancestors taught us. He gives me a reward for these monuments of mine, namely a lifetime of 1,000,000 years. The reward of the doer lies in what he has done. The reward of the doer lies in what he has done. It is Maat in the thought or the opinion of the Natiru. So the doer is, the reward of the doer is shown in results by what he actually does, right? So so even though we're always speaking about sound vibration, right, speaking things into existence, but you have to be a doer. And that's one of the things that gets lost in today's spiritual teachings, is the doing part, right? It's always, people want to talk, but what are you actually doing? And the actions that you're erecting alongside your sound vibration, right? Because people can talk all day long about what they're gonna do and how they're gonna do it, but it means nothing if you don't take action. And so this is how it concludes with all of what's being said. It concludes with that which is doing. And that's why the word for do, or to make, or to create, is what this great brother below me is in his name, Ara or Ari, which is the I, right? The consciousness that's used to create and make those things come into existence through Osar, which is the Un, which means to open up and to bring things into existence, which is the symbol of the electron spin, or the 4 sides of a point. So we were so advanced. It's beautiful that we have some access to this now today. And if we echo and we follow what the ancestors brought forth, then we too shall arise and erect and live forever. We shall overtake our enemies. We shall too not be affected by that which what the enemy does. We shall last for eternity. So this is the last one. I am his son, his protector. He gives me the inheritance of one upon the earth. I am a king, great of strength, effective in utterance. That's effective in the utterance, not just talking just to speak about it. The utterance is actually effective. He who defies me shall not live. My opponent shall not draw breath. His name shall not be among the living. His Ka shall be bounded before the nobles, and he shall be cast out before this netter as one who opposes what my majesty commands. They who will not act according to this decree of my majesty, they who will not raise me up to this noble netter, they who will not be favorable to what I have done with his offerings, they who will not grant me praise at the festival of this shrine within the entire temple of this shrine and every office of Abydos. Very powerful tones, right? And whose utterance is effective, right? I am the protector, and I am a king, great of strength. And those who oppose me shall not exist. Their Ka shall be bounded up. So with that, I'll close and say Hotep, Henu, peace and love, Tua. Yeah, this is wonderful, and I love it. I love the writings, because it's what we need today. So Hotep, Tua for your attention, everyone. Tua for listening and for your patience. Hotep.
Henu to you, great brother, for all that you are, and that you just shared, even highlighting what we read even more. It's our ancestors were not playing, and it's powerful that we get to relive these memories through them.
Yeah, to our great brother, Henu, to you, Ani. I love to see how excited you get, because that gets us excited. It's beautiful, brother, because this is what we're supposed to be excited about. You know how many people will be harmed tonight participating in the ISFET? That's a shame because it doesn't have to happen. Like, you know, we can all be excited for these writings and this literature that our ancestors left behind for us, and this great wisdom. We should all be excited about that. Like how brother, you was telling me how you go to sleep at night with the magical Egypt. I'm gonna start doing that because you mentioned it. I'm gonna start doing it because I'm the one that gave that to you, but it's so much that I don't remember. It's so much, brother. But I hear all the firecrackers and stuff going on outside, but everybody remembers that it's what is it, Pope Gregory? What is this, Gregorian calendar? New Year, right? Yeah, Pope Gregory, I think. So yeah, we remember that. We remember that it's New Year's and it's time to pop bottles and whatever the people are doing out there. But I'm here with my family. I'm here with you, great brothers, and I'm gonna be reading some more great literature tonight because I understand how important it is, man. And it's a shame. You hear it? It's almost like it's a war going on outside.
Well, fireworks is better than where I grew up in Chicago. They shoot real guns in the air all night, every for celebrating New Year's Eve. So fireworks is safer than from where I grew up.
Definitely, because what go up must come down. So them bullets they shooting in the air are coming back down. So yeah, it's a strange time that we're in right now. But two out to the Natiru for leaving this behind for us. And what they say, it just disappeared, huh? It just disappeared out of the museum, huh?
Oh, I know, right?
The Stele just disappeared, huh? I watched all the James Bond movies. I know what happened. How did it just disappear?
I need when you was talking about that, I had a vision of me hitting a lick of people taking stuff into the museum and me sticking them up and taking back our artifacts. I was literally visualizing myself doing that.
Bro, that's a fact, bro. That's really what it is. But we got to take it back mentally first because the sad reality, my great people, is that a lot of those artifacts mean more to them than they do to us. We don't value it. This is why they have it. We didn't value it then. That's how they was able to obtain it. So yeah. Yeah, I'm with you, brother. Let me know when we gonna get on that drill, because I'm with it. We going to get it back. Hey, look, listen, I talked so much about the ISFET and about the Tamahu that my mentor said. She says like she gets upset, and then I tell her, I said, well, if I took something from you and you wanted it back, how would you get it back? Where would you go to get it back? If I took it, you would go to me to get it. They took it. You got to go back to them. They got it. Where are you supposed to go? They have it. You have it now. You took it from me. Now it's at your house. I need to get it back, Menkhu. I have to come see you. We got to go see them people to get our stuff back.
And
so
the double security thing that they did was made copies of the originals, and they put those up front.
Yeah.
So, like, if I come and take some from you, I'm just gonna make a copy. So if you ever come back and get it, it ain't even the real thing.
Exactly.
They say the rappers do that. They'll wear a fake chain out when they're public instead of their actual real chains.
Yep. Yeah, that's a fact, man. So yeah, we definitely gotta appreciate it, and we gotta know where we got it from. Yeah, I was reading that book, because the book that I was reading by Budge, I didn't even realize it was Budge. as I was reading it, I didn't realize it was, but I was like, this is a really good book. And I didn't, because I'm reading it on my Kindle. I just put a bunch of books on my Kindle, just testing it out. And I had reformatted them to, because they all in PDF form, or at least a lot of them. So I reformatted them. And I didn't even realize it was a Budge book, man. Budge got a lot of books. He got a lot of writings, man. Oh man. And then sometimes when I'm reading some of the, like how you read the commentary, Menkhu, sometimes when I read the commentary, it makes me mad, because then you could really see the lies and you could see their thought process behind a lot of the writings, because they'll say things like, it doesn't make sense, or the savages, they'll use words to like discredit or to minimize and negate, you know, the writings, the actual meanings of the writings. But yeah, I'm grateful for my Saba, because of that, like you said, Ani, we're able to recognize things that other people aren't able to recognize.
Yeah,
So I definitely got
it
to
because they're
credit.
not followers of Maat.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Yep, that is a fact.
I posted the link in the chat if anybody wants to come up and let your tones be heard. The link is in the chat. The support link is also posted at the top. It's pinned to the top. So if you all want to support this class and this build that we're having, utilize that that link there that's pinned to the top, and hit the StreamYard link. We'd love to see and hear you all come forth if you are able to, before we get ready to close out. Let me see. Oh, peace, Sharika. I see you in here. Peace to you, Nukpoo, giving the vibrations like he does. Angela Gates, peace to you, sister. Wonderful to have you here. So yeah, hit the link. One of you hit the link and come up here and let us
Come
know
build with us.
Yeah, come join us before.
Yeah, come join us. Nukpoo said they shooting over here. Yeah, I hear him out there, Nukpoo. I hear it. It's going on over here. Sound like it's craziness.
I just
straight
want
up
to publicly thank the master teacher Saba Tehuti for giving me my rent. I'll celebrate the 1 year born day of my Ren at midnight. So Tua, for him transforming me and having that to celebrate, opposed to celebrating whatever their death culture holiday is. So Hinu to you, great Saba, for changing my whole solar system. Hinu, great brother, welcome. We like your background.
Yeah, that's a dope background. I love it.
Peace and love. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh yeah, your microphone. I think
What
sound like
is
you're
that,
speaking through a voice box for a second.
Yeah, I'm like listening. I got a new mic. I'm like, is my headphones? What's going on?
I'm at work
Henry.
right now, so I think you can probably hear the machine in the background. I just want to show some love, show y'all some love and some support, and say thank you and to you, great brothers. See, I'm repping the new t-shirt here at work. Like I said, I got a lot of people complimenting me and whatnot. So I don't know what the heck you put on it, but for it, it's beautiful.
Yes, we was able to make out some of what you were saying. Nini, great brother. When you come back and listen on the playback, you'll hear how we sound. This is funny because you sound like a super robot.
Yeah, it's real digitized.
Yeah, but to our great brother for coming up and for representing and doing what you do, great brother. So to you.
Yeah, to our great brother for holding it down.
And Menkhu, I wanted to give you your Hindu as well. You gave Saba Tehuti your Hindu for your Ren, and I want to give you your Hindu as well, because you doing that is what initiated me in wanting to get my Ren. So because you did that, I said, okay, well now that's my sign to get mine, because I was waiting on someone to. So you were the one. So to you, great brother, for making that step initially, and and represented for us, and also for coming out while me and the Tefrim Maat got our RINs. You were there with us. So handle to you, great brother, for that.
Yes.
You a great brother. The energy is circulating. That's what Maat and the Netarus and Turks are working, so that we are all creating a solar system and we are feeding off of each other's energy. I shouldn't say feed off. We are pulsating and illuminating and doing powerful things, the energy that we're in. So you are extremely welcome.
Yeah, to our great brother. That's a fact. I want to echo that sentiment because definitely, it was definitely your inspiration that inspired us as well, inspired me. And then for me too, it wasn't, man, I had no, it's like this, the more you learn and the more you rise like an Aku, then the more you begin to realize that everything is a lie. Hold on, that ain't my name. Hold on, that's German. Wait, hold up. That's not my friend. What is that? Oh, that ain't me. No, oh, absolutely not. Know thyself. So that can't be me. That whatever they was calling that, and that's, well, your mother named you that. Well, guess what? That's the only thing she had available to her at the time. That language, that was all she knew. If she would have knew better, then she would have done better, you know. So definitely for that. To our great sister.
Can I say one thing? Yes. To a great sister, welcome you both to the panel. Today I heard a voice. I was like, what's worse, having a slave name or having a slave master's name? And I was like, whoo, I was like, this 1 year coming up, I'm like, I can't even understand what all fully has happened, but I'm happy that it happened. And so I don't even know. I bought the axe when you brothers got your RINs. Like things that are happening, I can't take credit for. The only thing I can take credit for is I allowed myself to be in alignment, to be used as a vessel for something greater than my ability to perceive what's happening. All I knew, I don't even know how. I can't take credit for, once I saw Saba and heard him, something switched. And so I think Saba said one time in the podcast, he said he wanted to thank us for allowing the Neters, the Netaru to work within us. And at some point that started to happen. And so I just my mind is blown, but I was like, oh, where is this coming from? Like, to have this on my consciousness is like, what's worse, having a slave name or the name of a slave owner? Is like, oh my God, the things that they try to do to us, the psychological warfare and every tactic possible to destroy us. For the ones that have survived, is like a very beautiful thing, and we have to fight back. You know, we have to fight back. Something has to be done, because we don't deserve this, right? This is not right. And so anything that I can do to flip and to fight back, it's time. Like, there's nowhere to hide. And that's the thing, that people think that if you don't jump in the ring that you're safe. You're not safe. Like, they are trying to literally claim and take a whole world, like a whole universe. They're out in outer space trying to take over that. They fighting aliens. You think they're not gonna chop your head off? These people is not playing. They trying to own, and they're trying to own everything. And I was like, this name has got to go. So it's anything that I can do. Like, I guess I got a little bit of a warrior, and it's not much, but it's a little bit, Hello to Sister Minty HOTEP. Welcome everybody.
We real champions around.
Peace, HOTEP, everybody.
Peace,
Can I be
great
heard?
sister. Yeah, we can hear you.
Great. I'm so glad that I got a chance to catch some of it. I went to the museum today. I went up to the Getty. They were having a showing of the Per Am Hebrew, and I was hurt. It's a huge museum with all sorts of Roman and Greek artifacts, and there's just this little corner of some papyrus, and it just blows my mind that all of that was influenced by Kemet, but they don't acknowledge it. I mean, we know that they don't acknowledge it, but just on that scale. And honestly, it didn't look real. It looked like it was a copy of something.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's, you know, what they do. They'll raise up the Greeks, and you know that's why they have the word pre-Hellenistic. Why would there be a word say pre before the Hellenes instead of just saying what it really is? You know, for the whole, because they were only there for 300 years. Kemet was 10, however many thousands of years. And here come the Greeks for 300 years, but everything's Hellenistic now. So, yeah, Tua for sharing that. Yeah,
absolutely. I took some footage and I took some pictures, and then just to continue the disrespect, I went into the gift store, and they had shelves of books, of Greek books. And then in this little tiny section, there was probably about 7 books. That was the Kemetic Egypt section. There was literally like 7 books all the way on the bottom shelf.
Well, good. Whoever's going in there, they don't need none of our information anyway. So let them keep whatever they think they're reading. That's great.
Yeah, I bought it out too. So
good.
Yes.
Peace, Sister Sharika. Welcome to the panel. How are you feeling? How are you doing?
Getting strength every day. You know, I wasn't able to catch all the parts of the class, but it's really beautiful what you brothers were touching on, and even to build on what Minty was saying about, you know, our papyruses. There's so many, but it seems to be the same few that get discussed openly, and that's our treasure chest to go into these steles and to go into so many of these things that don't get the light of day, because that's where the real Heka is. And even too about spelling and language, the first thing we learn how to spell is our name. And it's not our true name. So that speaks to the importance of every one of you, you know, already having your Ren, how important it is for us to reclaim that back. And it's so beautiful too that the names that we have and the names that our ancestors have, they involve the Netzeru. So how can you say the Netzerus, we don't come from them, when we literally put that in our echo, we put that in our name? We're not called these random names. We're literally in the name, in the body, in the essence of the Netzeru, and that's super powerful. Again, I don't know what other cultures do it to that degree and that level, but it just speaks to how important it is for us to claim that back.
Yes, you're 1000%. You know, it's so very important, and that's why what we're doing is so important. Because we're leading by example in that, because our great Sabbath Tehuti, you know, he's been doing that for however long he's been doing it, and you know, without the internet. So, you know, to live in that, and to be that, and to be able to teach that purity to us, because of his purity, you know, it's of course going to attract pure as well. yes, SFEHK comes alongside of that because SFEHK loves pure energy, but it will never win or overtake or overcome that which is truly pure. And when you understand that you're not just you're a warrior as well. You know, you fight for what's yours. You fight to keep what's yours. You fight to take back what was taken from you, because we are in a war. So it's absolutely 1000% on point. And that's a great point you made as well. You know, the first thing you spell is your name, and first things you start to learn. And that's why I'm so grateful, because when you realize where you come from, when you're able to remove yourself and look outside in and see what this is, now to be able to raise up children outside of that is so powerful. The youth, to bring them up and to give them access to this without having to go through all the SFEHK, especially when it clicks that you don't have to go through something to learn about it. And I see that a lot with the youth now. It's like, nah, I want to learn on myself. If that's wrong, I want to figure it out by doing it wrong. And I never understood that. I don't save me time, please. If you've done this, please save me time. So I never understood that. But I think it really just comes back to, of course, everything that embodies our culture, and which is just completely death culture. And so, yes, you know,
and being, and this whole concept of being alone, and that's the beauty of building off of the legacy of others. Like, if I'm going to make mistakes, I want to make brand new mistakes. I don't want to make mistakes that other people have made. Use those as lessons and then strike a new path and go further along. That's really key. But it's a programming, it's a relearning that we have to shift back to, that we have to go back and use the things that people have built before us. We're not starting the world from scratch. The world was not born with the Tamahu sciences and all these new discoveries. No, they either didn't know because they're ignorant, or they're making it up. There is no new anything. Everything is under Ra, everything is under the sun, everything is already here. So it's
They're usually making it up.
Yeah, they're usually making it up, and it's funny anytime I hear new discoveries, because ancients have always understood that. And when we recognize that these things are left for us, to me, it does take a lot of pressure off. We don't need to figure out the world. We just have to remember how we built it before, and that's beautiful. It's like the seed's already there, and we just have to water it.
Absolutely. There's so much of a self-serving agenda that's the reason why that these people, these scholars and the modern day scholars, they make all of this stuff up. It's like, where are you getting this information? You're getting it from our ancestors, and you're just rewriting it. It's really offensive. I left the museum. I felt really offended.
It's a trophy to them. Like it's like, oh, this is some cool stuff, but it's nothing that they live by, because they don't live by anything. It's a death culture. So it's hypocritical entirely to discover all this stuff and then frame it or put it in a casing and then go back to your nonsense.
Yeah, I just want to say real quick too, couple of years, I think, oh my God, let me see, this was right before the pandemic hit. I went to Cuba, my first trip to Cuba, and I did this like a 2-week salsa intensive like a dance trip, right? I got to tour Cuba, but I also was learning how to dance salsa. And what I was learning, what was really powerful, was really African dance. Salsa is really all of these rhythms, the Afro-Cuban dance, all of that. It comes from it's African dance. It's our culture, right? And so in this experience, like I'm dancing, right? And I have a background in working with youth, and I love arts and culture and history and all this stuff. And in a second, like in a moment, I realized, I was like, this is how we used to connect, right? This connection, like, is multiple people who are master dancers, right? Teaching this tradition, and all like couple dances and African dances, you always lead with your left. And in the middle of the dancing, I had to stop dancing, and I was bawling, right? I was like, I'm, you know, at my age, why am I just now feeling this connection to culture in this way? And that's because it has been, unless you have a direct connection to the griots and are able to make these kinds of trips, you don't realize, like, we're in energy, right? And we're learning more and more. But some people don't even realize these are the kinds of things that have been stolen from you. And I was crying because I having this awareness, but I also was tears of joy because I was like, oh, I'm on this path of recapturing ways that I can connect with sisters and I can connect with the youth, because I'm doing this Kofa thing, and I'm like trying to recapture my identity, but I'm also trying to transform and grow so I can share it with other people. And it was like the most bizarre thing, because I'm in a room with like 40 people and we're all having a good time, and they're like, what's wrong with him? But it hit me so strong. It hit me in such a profound way that people stopped dancing and they were like, what's going on? And I was able to share with them what I was feeling. And they was like, yeah. He was like, in America, you know, so many times people don't get to experience that, because this was a focus. I wasn't going to work for 8 hours and I didn't have any distractions, right? So I was deep in the culture. I was in Cuba. And so when I went to Gambia,
you were tapped in.
Yeah, and when I went to Gambia, I was having these similar experiences as well. And when I went to Senegal, I was having these similar experiences as well. And when I went to Jamaica, I was having these similar experiences. And like each time I travel and in my journey, multiple things are happening simultaneously of what was stolen, and we have to recapture those things so that we can give it back to our children and to our families.
Yes, wonderful add-on, great brother.
Too.
Definitely the language.
We're gonna have to see some of these moves, brother. Like, you keep talking about these moves. I'm gonna have to see something here soon. Great brother.
That wasn't the point, Ahati. Most definitely, yeah. I feel like, you know, we're and you know, it's so important, you know, and my journey is that when we have the next pathways and when we have our various ceremonies, that we have master drummers, we have master teachers, we have speakers of the language, we have the griots, we have people that can teach at a high level. And that's why Saba is so important, and this organization is so important, and all of you are important. So we take back the land and we rebuild the new Kemet is what's happening. This is not like a light thing. This is humongous, right? Like taking a people's language, spirituality, culture, how they cooked, how they did the day-to-day things, take away your whole existence. They try to obliterate, right? And for you to survive that and take that back is a true treasure, right? It is bigger than physical treasures. Like, you are recapturing a whole other thing that some people unfortunately will never get to experience.
It's the biggest picture of all. Like a lot of the things that in this modern Tamahu world that we take for granted, the media, the musicians, the entertainers, that was all us. Like somebody would be the dancer leading ceremonies. Somebody, there'd be performances, whether it's reenacting the not the mythology, but reenacting the ancestors or reenacting certain festivals and ceremonies. Every single thing that we go outwardly for was something we actually did ourselves, and it's recognizing, and for me that's something that is difficult, but I have to constantly tell myself like that is possible, because that's really what we're here to do, is to reclaim those things and have those things actually be a part of our lives. Then the media and all that external matrix stuff becomes obsolete, because people can begin to see that there's these other things. This is, especially for the youth and the kids, like this is the way that you're living, and the way that we're born is not the only way. It seems like it's the only way, but it's not. So it just speaks to, again, the grander picture. So I think, everyone on the panel for bringing that up, because sometimes, in the House of Aten, it's like, you're trying to study and you're trying to learn, but every once in a while we need that reminder of there's something being built here, like now in this lifetime, not just, sort of fairy tale and not happening and not building.
Yes, and Ani, you will see the moves, because we're gonna learn the moves together, right? And in the future, we're gonna have master drummers come and teach all of us how to do these rhythms, teach us, all of us, to do these dances, so we can give our children. I love our children. It's ingrained in us, our DNA, how we move and how we speak and how we sing and all those things. I don't want Lil Uzi Vert teaching my sons these tap your hips dances. I want our kids to be learning like capoeira and breakdancing and stuff that's more connected.
Capoeira, yeah.
Authentic history, not Little Uzi Vert and these TikTok dances. It's ridiculous, some of the stuff they got our kids doing.
Yeah, I've always loved African dancing.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
I've always been attracted.
House of Aten.
Sorry about that.
No, you're okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've always, thank you. I've always been attracted to African style dancing. I was actually gonna take a course in that after I got out of high school. So that would be amazing to revisit that idea.
Yes, it's gonna be great. We're gonna have Menkhu Ara, and we're gonna have Nukpu as the ones who's gonna teach us the merengue, the bachata, and break dancing. They're gonna get our moves right. So it's gonna be NEFER. So yes, it's an extremely important part. Seriously, it's very important. And of course, we got to have the tones to dance to. So so we are recreating and doing re-implementing Maat into every aspect of who we are. SFEHK, good brother, is your mic good? Check your mic.
Mic check.
No. Maybe try to come out and come back in.
You're like mid transformer. Get to the other side.
Yeah. This is excellent. Yep, I thought it was him speaking again. Okay. Yep, that's right. And that's what we're doing, transforming. Capara. Again.
I'm very sure Hepra's transformation sounded a lot more pleasant than that, so I'll take the sun version.
No, you still sound like you've been smoking for 40,000 years.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, you sound like the lady. You sound like the lady, bro, on a commercial when she hold the thing up to her mouth. On the COPD commercial. Yeah, everything about our culture is important, though. Everything about our culture, the language, how we dress, how we act, how we behave, everything. So that's why the House of Aten is so important. And Hinu to our great Saba Tehuti for teaching us, and for us, Hinu to all of you on the panel for being on that frequency, for being on the correct frequency to be able to grasp this. Because Menti, I was going to the museum when I went to New York a couple weeks ago. I never made it back. I was going to go back to the Met Museum, but unfortunately I didn't get a chance to make it there. But it's everything about our culture is important. But in this day and age, it's like sometimes we have to go there to get it. We have to go to them to get it. So
yes,
definitely, because that's where it's at, you know.
More after this experience today, it really inspired me to go to Kemet, to actually go to Kemet.
True, yeah, definitely. That's definitely a trip that I need to make as well. Menkhu, you done been to Cuba? Oh man, that's right. That's not too far from me. So
I know,
it's only 90 miles
Yeah.
from Key West.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to go there too. I want to go everywhere, bro. I love traveling as well, so that's a beautiful thing. But yeah, we have to go back to where our culture was stolen from it, to get it back, to retrieve it. We have to go back. So shoot, I'm grateful for Budge as well, and all the Egyptologists that practice, that don't practice, that for whatever reason inspired them to do whatever it was that they did to maintain as much integrity as they could of our ancient writings, because Budge had to cut it up and smuggle it out and sneak it out and do all types of different things to obtain some of the artifacts that he was able to obtain. But I'm glad he did. I'm so glad he did. So whatever energy motivated him to do that, hey, that's definitely necessary, because I wouldn't be here with you, great brothers and sisters, right now if it wasn't for that. So,
yes, we have to
To
find
you, great brother.
Yes, to our sister. Yeah, we have to find the beauty in all of the SFEHK. And I've seen someone say I love and hate the museums at the same time, and I agree with that too, because I know anytime they opening up Karas, I can't watch that type of stuff when they're opening up the Karas, and I don't like that at all. But I have to find the beauty in what they're doing, because if not, then it can get real ugly real fast. So you have to find the beauty in it, and just utilize what we have accessible to us to assist in our growth, because I know that's what I would want if I was one of the bodies being raised up, the temples being raided. I would, at least if that's happening, for my children to be able to benefit from what I left. So that's how I like to look at it, and because they're all up in it, and they can't be the only ones receiving the information from it. So we utilize the information that they're stealing to take back what's ours, and that's what we're doing. So HOTEP to each of you for being a part of this this very powerful journey. Okay, so if you all have any sisters, if you all have any closing words before we close out, I'm gonna show some donations, and then we'll get ready to close out.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to say Henu to Master Teacher Saba Tehuti. Without him, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now for it. Very great matrix. To everyone that's on the panel and everyone that's in the chat. It's an honor to be here, and I'm very grateful for each and every one of you.
Tua.
Nefer,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful. Mintier, I'll let you finish.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. Thank you, sister.
It's a Nefer contrast in these day and times that the world is trying to charge ahead with the AI and the robots in the future, and there's such a calmness and a groundedness in us flipping that and actually going back to the past in order to build ourselves accordingly. So it's a worthy journey, and I'm proud and very fortunate to be able to walk it every day. And you know, there's never going to be a day where Maat is not in my life, and that's a victory unlike any other.
Let's give these sisters a round of applause. Yeah, Hinu to you, Nefer sisters, for being who you are and for being here with us. You know, we definitely need you here. So Tua for being here. All right, so let us show the some support that came through for the House of Aten. Of course, you know, y'all can stay here. Of course, you don't have to go anywhere. You can stay here.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop off because I'm in my car right now, and I want to get back on the road before it gets too late.
Okay, travel safely.
So
let us know when you get to your location.
yeah, I should be there in about an hour. But I will be listening in the chat. So peace and hotep. Neb nefer ankh.
Hotep. Neb nefer.
Hotep, sister.
All right, so we'll start with Minty Hotep with her support that she sent in. She sent 555 for making Neb nefer ankh family Hotep. Hinu to this wonderful sister for the support. Offerer of light. All right, next we have Nookpoo, who is a wonderful supporter who sends in 888 Tua for that reading. Aten Tehuti, and hold on one second because we got more, so let's read the other ones before we give you a round of applause. Tua for the 888 and Tua for that reading. Aten Tehuti, meaning Uk. And next he sends 444 for Ma'akaru, Ma'at. Tua for that. And he sends in 999 for Tua Aten Tehuti and Nefer Keperet for your Ma'atrimony. Oh, I like that. Ma'atrimony. Tua, great brother. All right, to Hinu, for everyone who is watching on a playback, be sure to support the House of Aten. The links are in the description box. Here's the QR codes that you can scan. This is we appreciate and love each and every one of our supporters, and you know, we look forward to consistently building with you all and seeing new faces and hearing new voices and new people in the chat. I did see someone come in, I want to acknowledge them as well. Where is it at? Oh, here it is. Bars and Chains Network, who said peace, kings. Peace to you, Bars and Chains. All right, so this was another NEFER reading, another NEFER Sunday study guide class, going through the ancient literature of our ancestors and speaking about it and bringing it forward, so we all know how our ancestors thought, so that we can begin to think like them too, to begin to implement the excellence that they implemented by taking in the consciousness of them. Tu'a to them. Tu'a everyone for your attention. Without your attention, this could never exist. We would never, we could not be here without that, without your attention, without your ma'ah. So Tu'a to everyone. May you all have a fantastic NEFER night. Stay safe out there with all the crazies, the real crazies. So be safe out there. If you're traversing outside of your home, or even if you're inside of your home, stay safe. So Sakim M. Arit, murder Ka'a, Semu Hatu Natiru, per in HOTEP. I have obtained the power to do what pleases my Ka. May the hearts of the Natiru lead me. I come forth in peace. HOTEP.
HOTEP, peace and love. Menkhu, you got some closing words?
Yes. Everything that has been shared tonight reminded me, and if you don't know, there's a brother, Tony Broder, who is, I believe, the only or the first African-American to do an archaeological dig in Kemet. I'm gonna look into that a little bit more and see where the Neterus lead me, but all is possible. So I'm looking forward to what the Neterus have in store for all of us. I'm really feeling like this may be the year, this upcoming year may be the year of my return, my pilgrimage to Kemet. And so we want to say to everybody for your attention, for your support, for your attention. Peace and love to everyone on the panel. I look forward to seeing those who will be in the Metal Nether Monday class ceremony chamber tomorrow. I want to echo Brother Ani's sentiment. Please be safe. So much craziness is happening in this time right now. People celebrating this, whatever it is. So to you, great brothers and sisters, for your positive energy and your influence on my Ka, my Ku. Peace and love, and Hinu.
HOTEP, peace and love. Sharika, did you close? You did? Okay, peace and love to everybody. This was a great class. Hinu, as the great brother said, be safe out there, celebrating whatever it is that you celebrate. We will end as we do with our beautiful affirmation. To all the supporters, Hinu to our great Saba Tehuti Amen Hotep Ra, Hinu to the great Ahati Maat, Hinu to the great Aten Tehuti, Hinu to the great Sharika, Hinu to Menti, and Hinu to Menkhu Ra Meri Maat. Peace and love, everybody. From today's readings, behold your two sisters. I have placed them as a protection around you. And the arms of my majesty are uplifted to disperse all evil. I shall make firm your defense, my son, my chosen one, Heru, victorious bull in Thebes, whom I have begotten from my very body. THUTMOSE, who lives to eternity, who performs for me everything which my Ka desires. You have erected my temple as a structure enduring to eternity. wilder and longer than it had previously been. And its great portal is named Menkhu, celebrates the beauty of Amun-Ra. Greater are your monuments than those of any ruler who has ever existed. I ordered you to construct them, and I am content with them. I shall establish you upon the Horus throne of millions of years, and you will rule the living forever. The reward of the doer lies in what he has done. It is Maat in the opinion of the Ntiru. Unki in Maat, Un in S, Nintet or Set in Maat, Minhapapet in Maat, Per in Huqi, Per Ikut. I live for Maat. I exist within her. I do not speak in the place of Maat. Every day I advance towards Maat. My being is surrounded in darkness. I come forth as conscious light.
For those who doubt what this may be, second danger round. Wow. For those who think this is not what you saw on the screen, I just want to want to hear something? Oh! Wow! Wow! This is the real thing. You know when I hear the snake rattling?
Yes.
I want to tell you guys something here. Let me see. I want to show you the example of the black snake rattling. I don't know if this is this is really over. Ooh. I want you to know something. That's not an example. That actually is the one that I'm holding right now. Y'all see anything in front of me with horns?
Yes, yes.
All right, so this is a TEF. This is a TEF right here. Hey, TEF, how you doing? Show them your beautiful head. There we go.
Some of those horns are epic.
You can see it clear on the screen. Yeah, so there's this is a TEF. Yo, let's go.
Closed my eyes, then I woke up back in my bed. I could see my room as clear as looking through a lens. See, I thought I was awake, so then I tried to move, but my body shocked me like I was plugged in a socket. I started panicking and scrambling within my mental. I thought I died and now my body, I'm forever locked in. I was screaming, help me, someone help me please. But there wasn't any sound making it through my teeth. I could see movement in motion, shadows gather around me. How could I close my eyes already closed? Eating alkaline at this time, fasting reads though shocking. I was stuck in a paralysis, it had me froze. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. It's time to shed. time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. I finally started waking up and coming back. I was in the opposite of SFEHK. That's relaxed, I grabbed my phone and started to do research. Knowledge of what happened, I was in a lack. Insidious, the movie came direct to mind. Every time I've seen this, it was connected to what's not divine. Demons crawling, forcefully holding the body down. Ain't no point in trying to scream, you will not make a sound. Deep within, I knew I made that a reality. The all is mine, I saw it, and so shall it be. I start replacing fear with knowing universe is mental. Talking to my subconscious to wake me up in dreams. Then one day my spirit guides came in so essential. Daylight's astral playing loud in my dream helped to set me free. I'm back in paralysis laying on my couch. But this time I was calm, ready to exit out. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. From what I read, I need to move my arms in front of me. See a rope and pull it, separate and then release. Now I'm out, I see my house is gleaming, I accept it. Looking in the mirror, staring at my car's reflection. I was so ecstatic, flying in every direction. This was months of subconscious reprogramming and redirection. Place my thoughts in my body, wake up, that's what I did. I was reborn from that day so I could start to live. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed.
There is no spoon.
But I can only show you the door. You're the one that has to walk through it.